Really tough against right-handed hitters.
Elliott's 2-2. We talked about the walks being somewhat of a problem early in the season for Hunter Elliott, and he's gone to a full count here to Janusek.
Yeah, that's that overthrown fastball in the first inning. The juice is flowing, right? The adrenaline's going. That's where starting pitchers have to settle in.
He just misses on the outer half of the plate. Home plate umpire Joe Harris, who's a really good umpire. He just didn't give him that corner. Janusek with the leadoff walk. As you see Joe Harris, home plate umpire. Saw him this past weekend when he called a Big 12 series over at UH with UT-RGV. Here's a Reebok. And it looks like they're going to get Janusek in a rundown. Janusek staying in the rundown. And it's going to be out. So that is game's first out. Will Furness, the first baseman, applying the tag, and Janusek is out.
Yeah, here's the pickoff move, and really good one from Hunter Elliott. Umpires gave him that 45-degree with that front step, and catches Janusek off base. Just a freshman running mistake. Did a good job of working the walk, but quickly erased.
So one away. Ball comes inside, and Reebok is hit. I know you and I have talked about this many times over the seasons. How many times you see a guy get on base, get out, get thrown out, and then the guy at the plate reaches.
Yeah, the pickoff, right? That obviously erases a man in running scoring position for Baylor, but this pitch catches Reebok. Wow, on the top left shoulder. And that's going to leave a mark. And he's still needing to walk that off a little bit. Took that fastball up and in. It just kept riding in on him.
So a walk and a hit batter, the first two hitters for the Baylor Bears.
Reebok returning for Baylor his sophomore season. Had a chance to go to other programs and get in that portal, and he chose to stay with Baylor and had a tremendous season as a freshman, and has really added on to his stats as a sophomore. And he's a dynamic player, really toolsy guy.
Reebok is at first base. Gotta let that pain go away for a little bit. That is not a comfortable feeling. Tice Armstrong, the hitter. Elliott missing. He's missed the first pitch to all three batters.
Armstrong, the UTA transfer in his 5th year, and throwing a great role for Baylor at first base. But only a couple of weeks ago that folks may remember the 3 grand slams. It was the second game of the season against New Mexico State. Of course, a lot of national acclaim for that performance. Gerald, you and I were talking before the game, only done one other time in NCAA history.
In 1978, Jim LaFontaine for Louisville, hitting the 3 grand slams in one ball game. LaFontaine, a couple of years of minor league baseball.
This is where the Bears can be really patient. Trying to wait Elliott out, see if he can dial in the strike zone.
And he's missed. Armstrong hitting over a 300 this season. With the 3 grand slams in one game, he's added another home run since, 4 home runs on the season. Elliott taking his time, and he misses on 4 straight. Not the way that Hunter Elliott drew up his start the first 3 batters of the ball game.
Yeah, 3 free passes, and he's fortunate to get the pick off of Janusek at first. Now Baylor does have a runner in scoring position, but They have not had to work for it.
Travis Sanders, the shortstop, now the catcher, Austin Foley, had to talk to his pitcher.
It'll be Joel Mangrum, the pitching coach for Ole Miss, out for a visit as well.
You know, it's early, and he's trying to get loose out there, and of course pitching in a big league stadium. You can imagine the butterflies are flying a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big time atmosphere. You know, getting to play in Astros home park. Of course, these guys are pretty used to it at this stage now. Many of these players have played in big league parks. But yeah, it's just really typical of a starting pitcher trying to settle in quickly and get command. We highlighted the fact that he's had 8 walks to come in after 2 starts. So that was one thing the Bears had to have in their offensive scouting report, is be patient, wait for a good pitch. And if he does have trouble settling in, then let's not help him out.
There's Travis Sanders. You can see the batting average right there. He's had a great start to his 2026 season, and Elliott continues to miss the strike zone.
As an offensive coach, you hate to put a take on. You know, thinking the pitcher's out there, now he's going to try to split the plate with something and give you something good to hit. That time, Sanders takes the breaking pitch for a strike, but it's that time to be patient.
Elliott, the junior. That one was in the zone, and lower part of the zone, and just getting a piece of it with Sanders.
And back-to-back sliders there from Elliott, able to find the zone with those 2 pitches.
Well, you know, this Baylor ball club, you fall behind on them, and they'll be sitting on something, and eventually it's gonna come back and bite the pitcher. 1-2. Blocked by Foley, the catcher.
And Sanders, one of those hitters in this lineup. When you look at any lineup to start the game, you think about what are the 1 or 2 guys we don't want to have beat you in certain situations, and Sanders certainly fits that bill for Baylor. Off to a great start this season. Had a breakout year last year, batting .335.
Go over to second base, and getting back in there is Reebok.
Sanders played most of the year at second base for the Bears last season, but has moved over to shortstop to fill in for the departed Tyreek Kemp, who was drafted 5th round by the Royals last season.
Just gets a piece of it. Now, Ole Miss, last time they played in this tournament, 2017. Baylor, last time they played, was 2022. Baylor, one of the original teams that played in this tournament back in 2001. Now Sanders awaits the 2-2. Elliott's pitch. Elliott trying to get the outer half of the plate. Now, this is a good approach by Baylor. They have been patient because some of these pitches have been close. Right in the middle, and it's lined into left field. And they're going to give the stop sign for the runner, Reebok, over at third base. As Sanders was sitting on that pitch, and that was a good location where he turned on it.
Yeah, this pitch is just middle cut over the middle of the plate. Fastball that's up in the zone, and Sanders is not going to typically miss those pitches. Elliott fell behind, had to come in with something out over the plate, and Sanders turns it around to load him up for the Bears.
And that's the danger of falling behind. You always look at the batting averages per count, and whenever the balls are higher than the strikes, those batting averages go up. Now it's Hunter Snow. Snow jumping on a fastball. He just missed that one.
Yeah, put a good swing on it. Redshirt freshman, sat most of the year last year and ended up taking the red shirt. A couple of freshmen already that we're seeing in this Baylor lineup.
One and one the count.
Elliott already had 20 pitches in the first. 13 of those are balls.
Bases loaded for Hunter Snow. And it's fielded by Furness. And they'll only get one. A run scores for Baylor. Reebok coming home from third base. Fielder's choice RBI for Snow, and Baylor jumps out on top in the top of the first.
And that ball was laced off the bat of Hunter Snow, and great job at first base. Furness made a nice clean play, just quick hops his glove, and you saw the turn there at short by Braden Randall. Elliott late getting over to cover. That will result in the Baylor run. Good job by Furness. Great play on the front end of it.
Snow getting his 5th RBI of the season. Now it's Braden Buchanan, designated hitter. Runners on the corners for the Bears. Elliott taking his time in this inning. And he gets to the bottom part of the zone for a strike call. Buchanan in his 3rd year at Baylor. Redshirt sophomore.
Hey, Buchanan had a great fall for Baylor. DHing today, but can catch.
Had a couple of multi-hit games last weekend at Round Rock Classic against Purdue and Southern Miss. Runner at third is Armstrong. Snow at first. Buchanan at the plate. Off speed, and Buchanan out in front on that pitch.
Yeah, great change up there from Elliott. His best change of the first inning so far, and it's Buchanan way out front.
Can he get out of it with only 1 run scored? Let's see. Buchanan awaits the 1-2. Good battle here with Braden Buchanan and Hunter Elliott.
Yeah, late on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball, but that's what happens when you spot that changeup breaking down and away from the right-handed hitter. That's typically what happens. You get late on that fastball.
Changing the speeds, Elliott. See what he comes with here. Cut on and missed. Couple of walks, a hit batter, a run for Baylor, and Baylor leads after half inning.
Hello everyone, your favorite pro Jason Alexander here, lighting it up on the Pro Show, where we'll hang out with our favorite sporting celebrities, get tips and stories with the Rocket, Roger Clemens, and Captain America, Patrick Reed. Yes, we'll fire a couple golf balls out of studio, and get ready to be inspired, meeting Austin and all of his friends. So check your local listings right here on the Space City Home Network. We'll see you all on the first tee with plenty of finger fives on the way. Right, Austin?
This season, we're all fire.
Higher aspirations, bigger dreams.
And Space City Home Network is bringing you the most live coverage, plus pre- and post-game analysis.
They left everything on the court.
And exclusive content you can't get anywhere else.
From behind the scenes to every moment that matters, we are here.
We fought. came out with a win.
Are you ready, H-Town? Because it's all fire on Space City Home Network.
Well, the Ole Miss Rebels going to try to answer Baylor after they scored a run at the top of the first. Hayden Federico will bat lead off. Judd Utermark batting second. Becerra, Reuter, Furness, Bawley, Decker, Sermons, and Randall rounding out the lineup for Ole Miss. Stefan Stahl, the left-hander, getting a start for the Baylor Bears. Got a spot start in last weekend's tournament. So Mitch Thompson decided to keep him in the starting rotation.
Yeah, he had a great start last weekend against Oregon State. Of course, got matched up with Dax Whitney, who ended up punching out 17 Bears and holding them to 1 run. But Stahl had a great outing, threw 4 innings, didn't give up a run. As you have to give up 1 for the season, but was in the mix last year for the rotation. Had an ankle sprain that kind of limited him, but has come back this year and shown that he could possibly reclaim a starting role in this weekend rotation. Off to a solid start for the Bears.
There's Federico leading it off. First pitch. So let's see how Stahl now has a 1-run lead. Let's see how he attacks Ole Miss. Hunter Elliott, starting pitcher for Ole Miss. A lot of pitches in that first inning. Notice with Stahl, really this is my first time of seeing him, but I noticed that the way he hides the ball.
Yeah, it's got a little funk in his delivery and keeps that ball hidden behind his back. A little bit tougher for the right-handed hitters especially to pick up. Not overpowering stuff. You'll see the fastball sit 88 to 91. Pretty good life with it. You see that tailing action to his arm side, and also features a changeup, cutter, slider, curveball. So 5-pitch repertoire for Stefan Stahl.
Stahl from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Junior college ball. Stahl played at McLennan. There's Federico down the count. UTSA had come from behind win in the first game between these in this tournament. This is going to be tough as Reebok gets his man. Well, that was a good play there by Pearson Reebok coming in on that.
High chopper looked like it was not going to be coming down in enough time for Reebok to make a play, but made a quick glove and transfer and throw just to nip Federico at first base. A great job by Reebok. Converted to second base from the outfield last season for Baylor, and he and Travis Sanders have been really good up the middle.
It's one of the things that Baylor has done well this year, has played well defensively. Utermark, the hitter. When you got good defense behind you, it really helps as a pitcher. You want to just go and, you just as a pitcher, you want to just throw and go after your hitters, be aggressive, not worry about anything else, because you know your defense is going to go get it.
That's exactly right. Let your defense work for you. Utermark, one of the couple of players for the Rebels with 20-plus home runs on the season.
Let's see, Mitch Thompson. 4th season at Baylor. Speaking of Baylor's defense, they are just 4 errors so far in the first 8 ball games. .986 fielding percentage.
Yeah, that gives your pitchers a lot of confidence. This is a strong Mississippi Ole Miss lineup. They only team in the country with 2 players that have those 20-plus home runs, and then they added a guy like Will Furness.
Cut on and missed. Stahl's retired the first 2 batters And looked like Utermark was looking for something else. He was out in front on that swing.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch, changeup breaking down and away, and Utermark way out in front.
You could see the changeup grip from that angle right there perfectly. 2 up and 2 down. Justin Becerra. Becerra's had a good start to the season. 485 batting average.
And a great piece to this Ole Miss lineup, added the transfer from Clemson.
Stahl trying to get him to go after something outside the strike zone. Set of the senior. He gets that one off the end of the bat on a breaking ball. And he skies to the right fielder, Janusek. And that does it for Ole Miss as they're retired in order, and we're through 1.
Is keeping you up? Take Zyzol at night. It lasts up to 6 times longer than Benadryl, relieving allergies the entire night. So you wake refreshed for a productive next day. Be wise, old. Take Zyzol at night.
Any pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 is Domino's best deal ever. Translation for basketball fans, it's like the GOAT of pizza deals. It's like down the baseline, through traffic, 360, double clutch, reverse, slam. Do I need to go on? Domino's.
Bold are the adventurous. Determined are the leaders. Faithful are the healers. At Baylor, you'll find your calling, your people, and your purpose. Dare to be you, indeed.
Baylor Bears leading 1-0 to go to the 2nd inning from Dyken Park. The Bruce Bolt College Classic. This tournament, which is one of the prestigious tournaments in the nation for college baseball, started all the way back in 2001. It's been a long time. A lot of great players have played here. A lot of good college baseball programs. Bryton Clemens leads off. Top of the 2nd.
We talked about the youth of this Baylor lineup, and yet again another freshman getting a start at third base for Baylor. Worked themselves into a platoon situation with he and Kay Dotson.
Elliott would like to have a different 2nd inning. He threw quite a few pitches in that first. 26 pitches in that first inning.
Only 12 for strikes. That led to the 3 free bases, and they were able to take advantage to score the first run of the game.
Laid off that. Makes it 1-2. We talked about Ole Miss and the great start that they've had in matching that 2022 season. Pat, if you remember, Ole Miss, they struggled after that hot start. They kind of limped into conference play. Then they turned it on. And they were able to just turn things around.
Yeah, it was an incredible turnaround, too, Gerald, when you think about at one point in that 22 season, they were 7-14 in the SEC. And there were folks calling for the Mike Bianco's head. One of the most miraculous turnarounds in college baseball history. Then obviously got into the regional and won the Super and on to the World Series. Get the crown.
Cut on and missed. That's a off speed from Hunter Elliott. And he has his second strikeout of the day.
Yeah, that changeup is nasty. When he keeps that pitch down and away from the right-hander, it's just almost impossible to hit. At the same type of action movement from his fastball. Just about 12 to 14 miles an hour off that pitch. Second time we've seen that fastball get away up and in on a left-handed hitter.
Ty Johnson. Johnson, part of the bottom part of the lineup for Baylor. So the 2022 season, they win the national championship. They also had a 9-0 start in 2008. Best program start was in 2004, which they went 11-0. I like the way the culture is over at Ole Miss. Mike Bianco has really said that. And he talked about that in our meeting with him earlier this week about the culture and that how that is used a lot in college sports, but it is so it's still relevant in what they're building at Ole Miss and what they have built.
Yeah, no doubt, and it's something that Mike Bianco is very proud of. You know, he talks about the culture, and the acronym he threw out was REBS. The relentless effort, excellence, belief, and selflessness. He's very proud that you know, they recruit that direction. They obviously choose leaders based upon that culture, and a lot of reinforcement and accountability, he says, from within. He said, I don't have to say a whole lot. We've just got great leadership, and they handle things very professionally amongst each other.
It makes it so easy for a coach when you've got guys that will take the mantle and take the reins and just run with it and be leaders amongst themselves. It usually starts with a catcher, doesn't it?
Sometimes the catcher is the captain, and you know, it could be any position player, and usually throwing a pitcher or two, but yeah, certainly it helps when your catcher can be the vocal leader.
Kennett, speaking of catchers, at the plate.
Certainly get that with Austin Foley.
That's why they always say catchers make great managers.
Well, they get to cheat, though. You know, they get to see the whole field. Nobody else gets to see the whole field like a catcher. Foley doing a good job. Great backstop defensive catcher. Really tough to run on. And a really good catch and release. Johnson always a threat to run. Almost gets picked off there.
Well, we have seen in the early going a good move over at first base from Hunter Elliott. He's already have one pickoff. Janusek was picked off.
The center fielder for Baylor, Ty Johnson at first base, can absolutely fly.
That's a foul ball.
Boy, not by much.
Very, very close.
Third base umpire Michael Carroll hopping over there. He was jumping to get out of the way and trying to make the call at the same time. Yeah, Jim Blair, the third base coach for Baylor, says, yeah, about a foot. Missed it by a foot. But
Kennett awaits. Elliott really taking his time out there.
It's not a quick rhythm. I'll tell you, that pickoff move is outstanding. You'll see him move that head. He'll look at first, throw to first, look home, throw to first. Gets that full 45 degree with that lead foot. Really good move. When Baylor is the base runners at first base, when he's making the pitch home, are oftentimes taking a step or two back to the first base bag.
Elliott's got quite a few career highlights in his time at Ole Miss. Is after a low pitch. This is going to be played by Snow in left field. 2 away in the inning. That pitch was not a strike, and Kennett lofted that one up. Look at the location here.
Yeah, Tate Sermons did a good job. It's a ball looked like it was going to go a little bit deeper than it did, but you're right, off the end of the bat, pitch was down in the zone and just kind of went sweeping for it. Good read off the bat in left field.
Janusek walked. He had a good at-bat. We saw quite a few pitches. His first at-bat. Getting back to Hunter Elliott and the accolades that he has accomplished over at Ole Miss. The Rawlings Gold Glove winner last year. College baseball. This time, Joe Harris giving Elliott the call on the outer half of the plate.
Yeah, we hadn't seen that one called. First time he's got that pitch. Yeah, he's an excellent fielder, is Elliott. Of course, that masterful pickoff move. And I love the story. The guy that sits out, misses 2 full seasons. That is a long rehab, and any player will tell you 1 season's a long rehab. But to go 2 full, then to come back and do what he's doing on the mound is something to be spoken for. That's a lot of perseverance, dedication, discipline. And I'll tell you, man, a lot of the mental things going on in your mind when you miss the game for 2 years. Outstanding job by Hunter Elliott to get himself back into the game.
Yeah, I would imagine that, human nature sets in and some doubt would set in after missing that much time.
Oh, yeah. You go through all those emotions, right? Am I going to get back? Am I ever going to be healthy again? When I get back, can I get my form back? Can I regain it? I mean, there's just so much going on there.
Another throw over to first base.
Tom Johnson had about maybe 1 step off the bag. Elliott's almost the guy, if you're trying to steal a base, it's almost going to be one of those first move, just guess right type of breaks, because he's just so hard to measure up in terms of his move.
Runner goes, but doesn't matter. That's going to be out number 3 right there. So Elliott throws up a goose egg in the top of the second for Ole Miss.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a underground methods, straight terror. Product of your order, the city with the big dogs.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Let me run the numbers one more time.
Hey, you trying to win at calculus or enjoy the game? With Prize Picks, pick more or less on a few players. Download the app and get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup.
Every shot's lively, every shot means something. Really kind of got an energy that's different than a lot of the rest of the course.
There's so many people here, so it's a little bit more than a golf clap.
Well, you're right on top of the action, and it's gotten pretty loud coming through already.
It's nice to see how the professionals play the same holes that we've played. Truly a great experience. It's easily the best hole on the course.
Hey kids, want to be a part of something big? Join the Astros Buddies Club, presented by HEB, the official kids club of the Houston Astros. Members 12 and under get 4 tickets to select Astros games, plus awesome gear, a drawstring bag, a widget hat, socks, shoe charms, and a cool lanyard. You'll also have chances to be a part of exclusive experiences like autograph sessions, clinics, parades, and more. All this for just $45. Sign up at astros.com/buddies and become part of the team today.
We couldn't ask for much better weather in Houston for today, the opening of the Bruce Bolt College Classic. Baylor's going to run on the top of the first. Courtesy of an RBI ground out by Hunter Snow. Colin Reuter coming up to the plate. Reuter, I beg your pardon. Reuter. Big right-handed batter, Reuter. He takes up a lot of that right-handed batter's box, Pat.
He sure does. Yeah, big pickup again for Mike Bianco, and BYU transfer and a senior leader. Expected to be a big piece of this lineup, and off to a great start.
In the middle of the plate, and Reuter just missed that one.
And he's hitting 500 coming in this game, and 14 in hits. How about 6 of those for doubles?
Started a little at first base last year. Back up the middle, and that's going to be through into center field. So after Stefan Stahl retired the first 3 in the first, leadoff single by Reuter in the bottom of the second.
Well, that's where Colin Reuter has really improved as a hitter. He's always been a big power guy, middle of your lineup. But last couple of seasons has learned to cut that swing down with 2 strikes and take the ball back up the box. And gets a hanging breaking ball from Stefan Stahl and delivers the first base hit for Ole Miss.
Now Will Furness, first baseman. First time through the lineup, and we've seen some swings from Ole Miss that looks like they're just missing some of these pitches, which is a credit to Stefan Stahl. Beautiful.
A good fastball in the outside corner, and that's what Stahl features. He's got pretty good command and not going to blow you away with the fastball. Fastball's 90 miles an hour, but works both sides of the plate, up and down.
I was just about to say in and out. Out over the plate. And this is going to be a fair ball in the corner. Furness is going to have himself a double. Well, Ole Miss here in the bottom of the second have runners at first and at second and third and nobody out.
Yeah, just a mistake pitch from Stahl. He's trying to get that ball above Furness's hands and gets it about waist high. Furness does a good job of staying on top of it, going the other way. It's just a great piece of hitting by Will Furness for Ole Miss.
Furness collecting a second double of the season. Reuter at third, Furness at second. Austin Foley, the catcher. Talked about his leadership skills behind the plate. Also a pretty good hitter, too.
No doubt, this is a team that had to replace 4 really good starters out of this lineup. Last season, you had Luke Hill, batted .336. Mitchell Sanford, over 300. Isaac Humphrey hit 13 home runs. Ryan Mormon. That's just a lot of production to replace, and that's where guys like Reuter and Furness and Foley have stepped in.
Talked about Ole Miss's power numbers. And Ole Miss bringing back 3 players with 20+ home runs. Stahl has fallen behind. The first 2 batters have reached a single and a double.
And fastball from Stahl came back over the middle of the plate. Finally just missed it. Put a good swing on it.
With it being 2-2, and Stahl would like to get a strikeout here. Got a runner at third, less than 2 outs. I noticed that Stahl starts with the changeup grip all the time. This is going to get 1 run home, and everybody's going to be safe. Clements backed up on that ball, and he fumbled it.
It looked like it was on the transfer. Made a clean pickup, but Just did not transfer it well from the glove to the hand. And that'll push Reuter across the plate for Ole Miss's first run. Yeah, lost his footing as well. That back foot slipped as he was trying to transfer from the glove to the hand.
There was a lot of things going on in that play.
Right.
You know, I mean, he's backing up, and he's also probably looking at where the runners are. So with that slight taking his eye off the ball, he fumbled it. Here's a bunt attempt right in front of the plate. Kennett throwing on to first base. The sacrifice works, though. Dom Decker gets the sacrifice bunt down.
And here's Ole Miss playing some small ball early in this game. Beautiful bunt by Decker, got the breaking ball, and Kennett out behind the plate, makes a good pickup and throw over to Armstrong to get him, but does his job with moving runners up.
So Furness now is at third base and Foley at second.
They did rule out an error on third baseman Brighton Clements.
So a fielding error and also an RBI for Austin Foley. Couldn't hold his check swing. Tate Sermons down the count 0-2.
Yeah, good curveball from Stahl that time, and it's got a lot of downward tilt to it. Good bite. Resulted in a few swing and misses with that pitch. Kennett doing a good job stopping that changeup from getting by him. A little bit smaller size catcher, but very athletic behind the plate.
Now it's Stahl that's taking his time, but he gets the big swing and miss here.
Yeah, that's a big strikeout. Of course, anytime you have a man on third, less than 2 outs, your goal is to try to put it in play, but Stahl goes right back to that changeup, and see Sermons out in front over the top of it.
So you know you have a good changeup when that ball is down.
That's where you get the most movement. Yeah, that's pitch ducking down and away from the right-handed hitter, and great location from Stahl.
Braden Randall, number 9 hitter for Ole Miss. Just trying to work down low. Inning started with a couple of hits and an error, tying the game. 2-1.
Yeah, Randall from Rockwall, Texas. One of a few Ole Miss players.
Now there's 4 from the state of Texas. And that is a ball that is foul. Whew.
Didn't miss by much.
Good swing from Randall.
He stayed on that breaking offering from Stahl and just hooked it down that right foul line. Would have been extra bases and a couple of RBI for him, but just couldn't land it inside that foul line.
Armstrong, the first baseman, he did all he could to make that spear chance, but couldn't quite get to it. We got a full count now to the number 9 hitter, Braden Randall. On the outer half of the plate, back-to-back strikeouts to end the second for Stefan Stahl, and the left-hander wiggles out of the jam.
26 is already heating up, and we're giving you the ultimate head start. Get guaranteed access to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Secure the best seat locations in Daikin Park. Enjoy 45% savings over single-game ticket prices. Plus, receive significant savings with your exclusive team store discount. And don't forget about your exclusive invite to season ticket holder experiences and events. Visit astros.com/season tickets for more information.
Hello, everyone. Your favorite pro, Jason Alexander here, lighting it up on the Pro Show, where we'll hang out with our favorite sporting celebrities, get tips and stories with the Rocket, Roger Clemens, and Captain America, Patrick Reed. Yes, we'll fire a couple golf balls out of studio and get ready to be inspired, meeting Austin and all of his friends. So check your local listings right here on the Space City Home Network. We'll see you all on the first tee with plenty of finger fives on the way. Right, Austin?
It's back. Yep, baseball is back, and it's time to warm up with spring training on Space City Home Network. Time to get back in sync with all your favorite players and get to know the new guys too.
What's up, Sean?
Yep, see it all come together. Astros Spring Training is on Space City Home Network. Presented by Whataburger.
Back at Daikin Park, top of the third. Both ball clubs scoring single runs. And the top of the third coming up. Gerald Sanchez along with Pat Combs and along with Imelda Douglas.
Hey!
Imelda, Community Affairs and Executive Director for the Astros Foundation. Well, it's been another fun tournament.
I know, absolutely. We're so excited about this tournament, the Bruce Bolt College Classic. It's so nice to have the energy in the building.
Well, Melody, you're wearing the right colors, too. You got the Astros orange going. It looks great.
Always. This is my uniform, right?
Love it.
Getting ready for the season opener, March 26th. And so we're just excited to have people here now and look forward to what's to come in the next 30 days.
So for those that may not know, what is the Astros Foundation focus on?
Yeah, well, the Astros Foundation, first of all, is the official team charity of the Houston Astros, and we have a very powerful mission that centers on 5 pillars. The first one is pretty obvious: youth sports and education. Is what we think about a lot. We also bring awareness to domestic violence and childhood cancer. We also are very concerned about this region's unhoused population, and so we put a lot of energy into that. And then, of course, we honor and support our nation's military and first responders. And so those are the kind of our guiding lights for what we do in community.
And also, big tournament going on too. I mean, the involvement with the Astros Foundation and the College Classic.
I mean, that is absolutely wonderful. We have another facility here in Houston that's could be sometimes our best kept secret. It's called the Astros Youth Academy, and it is in North Houston in an area known as Acres Home, and we have about 32,000 young athletes who really look up to these guys who are on the field. They see themselves as going there next. In terms of their career. So this is so exciting, not only for the college players that get to play in a major league stadium, but also for the kids that are playing in community.
Yeah, Melda, it's always great. This tournament always brings some great college teams. The competition, of course, we're seeing the fans now start to come into the ballpark. And what does it mean for the Astros to be able to host college baseball before the big league season arrives?
I mean, it is huge for us, right? We pay attention to the full continuum of baseball in this city. So we have over 30 parks around the greater Houston region, and we support over 6,000 young athletes. And so it's those kids, and then we want to have a connection with those that are playing at the collegiate level, and hopefully we'll see them here in the big leagues one day.
I love what you said, the continuum all the way through from youth up to college and down to professional sports, hopefully it's someday in an Astros uniform. But yeah, what an exciting time, and I love what you're doing. And And now tell us, what is the mission for you? Are you here to raise money this weekend, or here just to say, hey, community, we want to open the park and let you enjoy some college baseball?
So, you know what? It's really about opening the park. We do our share of fundraising, but that's not what it is this year. And so we want you to come out, buy a ticket. Actually, the proceeds from the tournament, the ticket sales actually come back to the Astros Foundation. And so we encourage everyone to come out and enjoy a great baseball game, and at the same time help us do good in the community.
Double bonus.
Yeah, that's it.
Here's the 1-2, and that is right at the knees, strike 3, and that'll do it in the top of the third. Imelda, thank you for coming by.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I'm happy to come back anytime and talk about the work that we do at the Astros Foundation. Enjoy the tournament. I'm going to go and find a comfortable seat and enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Imelda Douglas with the Astros Foundation. We'll be back.
Thank you.
Established who we are, gets you excited about what's to come.
Put on the Rockets jersey, and I'm ready to take it to the next level.
I think we let our game talk.
We definitely don't back down from anybody.
We're not gonna let nobody go out there and punk us.
We know what it takes. It's time to show it.
Hotty Toddy is our cheer, but what does it mean? It's hey, nice to meet you, or good to see you, old friend. We say it to celebrate, to congratulate, and yeah, to brag a little. Hotty Toddy is your first day on campus. It's fall Saturdays under old oaks, and spring Friday nights under showers of fireworks. It's opportunity, growth, knowledge. It's discovering who you're meant to be in a place that will always be home, no matter how far you go. Hotty Toddy, y'all.
Gerald Sanchez along with Pat Combs at Dyken Park. Going to the bottom of the third, Ole Miss coming up to the plate. And starting pitcher Stefan Stahl. I want to thank Imelda Douglas, Senior Vice President of Community Affairs and Executive Director of the Astros Foundation, for coming by and visiting with us at the top of the third. That's one pitch and one out. Federico flying out. There were some things that Pat, that she talked about with the Youth Academy, and you and I both played Little League. We grew up with the game of baseball, and it's so important, with the Astros getting involved, about how to be involved in the community and really promote the great game of baseball in the youth, because there's so many options now for kids today, and for them to be able to have that opportunity for baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. And it starts with you have to have a place to play, right? And so when you think about over the years what the Astros have done and supporting inner city baseball out to the suburbs, that's what it's all about, getting these youth to start and get involved in the game. And of course, so many good things happen. You and I experienced that, Gerald, playing Little League ball, and you get outside, you're playing with your buddies, you're growing and learning those life lessons, those character lessons, what it means to be a great teammate. There's just so many skills that the youth acquire when they're actively engaged in youth sports, and the Astros Foundation does as good as any Major League Ball club in the country in terms of just supporting the youth programs.
You and Mark 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. Stahl trying to get him to reach on the outer half of the plate. He does not. Now, if memory serves me correctly, Pat, you were an Astros buddy, and Cesar Cedeno was your guy.
Well,
am I right on that?
No, I like Cesar. But
okay.
Yeah, it was my first Astros buddy was J.R. Richard.
J.R. Richard, okay.
Yeah, I was not an outfielder, so it's I had to go with the big pitcher, and then later on, I remember talking to Craig Reynolds and Terry Poole years later, and they weren't my Astros buddies. I was kind of beyond that when they were playing, but I thought what an incredible program, and that was when they allowed us to come out on the field and be a part of the big league ballpark, and We got to meet the players, but I'll never forget shaking J.R. Richards' hand, and it felt like a bear paw.
He was a big man at 6'8". Tristan Becerra now as Utermark struck out. He thought that was ball 4, but Stahl got him to not looking. So took quick outs in this 3rd inning.
And we're back to more of a normal Joe Harris strike zone. It's getting a little bit bigger, right? He's a little generous on the corners. We love Joe. We never complain about that because we're up here in the game. Like, let's get the game going, right? Pretty good pitch there, not called a strike.
Also, one of the things I wanted to talk about is the new sponsorship with the College Classic. Bruce Bolt.
Yeah, big swing and a miss there from Becerra. Right out of his shoes. Fastball up in the zone and just missed it.
Of course, this is, as I mentioned earlier, this tournament has been since 2001. And there's been some great college baseball programs and players. Of course, all the head coaches that have come through here, there's so many. You know, I remember just spending time in an empty room with Wayne Graham and just soaking up baseball knowledge for about 30 minutes. And the tournament director came and said, "We need your lineup." I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So we got just,
that was your fault that day, huh?
We just got discussing about baseball.
It always took Wayne a long time to write those lineups.
Stefan Stahl, how about that?
They were meticulous lineups as Stefan Stahl strikes out Tristan Becerra here in the 3rd.
He's got 5 strikeouts.
Hi, Alice. I'm here from
your new prescription. Your refill. Indigestion again. Aisle 3. Joint support. Aisle 6. Uh-oh. Aisle 5. Vitamin C. Aisle 7. Let me call your doctor. Your insurance. Your grandkids are growing like weeds. Snacks are on aisle 9.
Go ahead. See you next time, Alice.
I'll see ya.
A fuller life deserves fuller care. That's the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Vacationing is an art, and the Palm Beaches are your canvas. Stroll along sun-soaked beaches. Unwind at boutique resorts. Explore hidden and not so hidden gems. Here you'll discover a lifestyle that's nothing short of a masterpiece. Curate your perfect collection of experiences in the Palm Beaches.
Well, the game has settled down a little bit as far as pace goes. As both left-handers are settling in. We move along to inning number 4. Baylor coming up to the plate against left-hander Hunter Elliott.
Well, Elliott had a nice inning in the 3rd, 3 up, 3 down, a couple of strikeouts, and really got himself back on track in terms of the pitch count. This is 56th pitch, 31st strike. He's at 55% on that ratio, and you like to see that around 65%. So the rough start in the 1st inning accounted for 3 free bases.
And we talked about at the very beginning about the walks and the innings pitched and how it was a little high. Of course, it is early in the season. That swung on and missed, but you're still trying to get stretched out. You're still trying to get comfortable out there.
Well, usually, by 3rd start, you're fairly stretched out. Now, in terms of pitch count, you're exactly right. You're trying to work that pitch count up to 90, 100 pitches. But yeah, he took off, kind of had a light fall, wanted to give his arm a chance to rest, and sometimes that can, as you get into the spring, we talk about pitchers having to only get 4 or 5 weeks to get ready. So he was on a good throwing program from December into the start of the season. But you're exactly right; it takes a while to get it going as he has his 3rd strikeout in a row off Snow there.
He has 6 strikeouts now, 1 more than his counterpart, Stahl.
Yeah, and Elliott's working faster. You can see the rhythm starting to speed up a little bit. And oftentimes when the pitcher starts to get comfortable, that's what you see happen. He wants that ball back. He's not thinking about too much. Catcher's putting down the sign. He's throwing the ball. Let's go.
That is huge right there. Not thinking about your pitches. Just lock and fire, as they say. Little looper into right field, and that's going to fall. And this is going to get into the corner. Buchanan on his way to second. He'll stand with the double, a 1-out double.
Yeah, a good swing there by Braden Buchanan. We saw that first at bat. He was trying to go right field. You saw him kind of late on a couple of fastballs, and that time he gets that fastball. Was tailing away, but looks like that was his design. His approach was to go that direction with it. It was a nice job of coming up with that type of game plan and executing it well.
Second double of the season for Braden Buchanan, the designated hitter. Now it's Clemens, third baseman. And that pitch that Elliott threw to Buchanan on the outer half of the plate, that was a good pitch by Elliott. A better swing by Buchanan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's when you tip your cap to the hitter. Had a great approach, executed, and moving on. Next guy. We call it so what, next pitch.
Now it's 2-0.
Yeah, Mitch Thompson, the head coach for Baylor, just talking with him earlier this week, said, you know, we've got better power numbers that we posted so far this year than last year. That really what he is talking about with his ball club is how much more athletic they are. And they are running bases or creating some havoc. 22 stolen bases already just 8 games into the season. So he is loving what this lineup can do offensively.
Anytime you get to spend some time around either one of these coaches, Mike Bianco of Ole Miss or Mitch Thompson of Baylor, you always got to allow yourself a little bit of time, because when you get to talking baseball with these guys, it is so much fun, and there's so many stories that they can tell.
Oh, no doubt. And you know, both the head coaches, Mitch Thompson, Mike Bianco, been around this game a long time. And you know, talking to Mitch about 37 years of coaching, he said, yeah, last week facing Oregon State's Dax Whitney, I've never seen one better, because that includes Skeens, Hagen Smith, all the guys we've seen over the years. That guy was incredible. 17 strikeouts against Baylor hitters. He says fastball averaged 98.6 miles an hour, had a hammer of a curveball and a nasty changeup he could spot for strikes. He said one of the most incredible pitching performances he's ever seen at any level. So that guy should not be pitching in college. He ought to be in the big leagues next week.
Very high praise. There's the 2-1 is on the way, and it's cut on and missed.
A great 2-1 change up there from Elliott. Get an advantage count. You throw a pitch like that to even things up. That is a quiet assassin of a pitch.
And he got him to swing and miss. Couple of strikeouts in this inning, and 7 in the ball game for Hunter Elliott. That was great.
Yeah, that changeup has accounted for probably 4 or 5 of those strikeouts.
Look at the location right there, down and away.
And just nasty. You saw Austin Foley, the catcher, set up outside, and that's where Elliott makes the pitch.
Now it's Johnson trying to pick up his teammate, Clemens.
And Mitch Thompson said of Ty Johnson, he said, you know, he had a great 2024. He says we need that version of Ty Joe back in the lineup.
Johnson walked his first time up. Evens the count. The way that Hunter Elliott and also Baylor starting pitcher Stefan Stahl going in and out, you gotta love it. I mean, that's really putting on a pitching clinic when they're going well. See what he comes here with the 1-1. Comes inside this time. And
almost got him.
Yeah, missed his target. He's already had one hit batter, that back in the first with Pearson Reebok.
Yeah, he seemingly has struggled with fastballs, especially middle end to lefties. It's about the 3rd or 4th one that's gotten away.
Outer half of the plate, and now it's even at 2-2. Notice a little bit of an adjustment too from the first inning now to this fourth inning with Hunter Elliott, where he places himself on the rubber. He was more lined up on that extreme third base side. Now he's kind of more in the middle. And I know we've talked about it, about where a placement for a pitcher likes to set up on the rubber.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's really wherever you're comfortable. And but if you're missing to one side of the plate or the other, I've seen pitchers make those adjustments. Now, I never wanted to move my feet. I wanted my feet planted. I wanted to make the adjustment with my arm slot. But some pitchers will choose to move around that rubber.
Full count with 2 outs. Johnson awaits. Right there at the bottom of the zone. Elliott ends up striking this out the side here in the top of the fourth as Baylor leaves a runner stranded in scoring position.
Home to Dyken Park.
And that ball is gone! Aaron Smith. Walker wins it, and the Astros win it in a walk-off.
Hello everyone, your favorite pro Jason Alexander here, lighting it up on the Pro Show, where we'll hang out with our favorite sporting celebrities, get tips and stories with the Rocket Roger Clemens and Captain America Patrick Reed. Yes, we'll fire a couple golf balls out of studio and get ready to be inspired, meeting Austin and all of his friends. So check your local listings right here on the Space City Home Network. We'll see you all on the first tee with plenty of finger fives on the way. Right, Austin?
The excitement, the emotion, the passion, epic highlights, inspirational stories, unrivaled coverage. This is H-Town High School Sports with Todd Freed.
See it all right here on Space City Home Network.
You see Stefan Stahl, left-hander for the Baylor Bears. This game is settling in. Bottom of the fourth inning, Ole Miss scoring a run to tie the game in the second after Baylor took a 1-0 lead in the first. Colin Reuter looks after the first pitch and fouls it off. We saw Hunter Elliott strike out the side in the top half of this inning. Elliott now with 8 strikeouts. Stahl has 5 strikeouts. One of the things that Elliott and Stahl, both starting pitchers, they're not going to really blow you away with high 90s velocity, but they're able to get the deception and great movement.
Yeah, no doubt, and he's mixing his pitches up really well. We talked about the 5-pitch repertoire that Stahl features. He's shown good command of the breaking pitch. He's thrown some changeups for strikes. Fastball he's been able to locate, moved in and out, and that's one of the things that pitching coach Sean Snedeker brought to this Baylor program last season.
Into left field. That's going to go to the warning track, and Snow getting it in, but not before a sliding double from Reuter. Reuter in both his plate appearances leading off an inning with a hit.
And that pitch just kind of hung up over the middle of the plate. Stahl trying to go down and away with it. That changeup flattens out when it's up, and Reuter enough to stay back on it. Did a good job of adjusting. Still a little out in front, but able to pull that high outside slider down the left field line.
Now Reuter getting his 7th double of the season. That was Will Furness, first baseman.
We're just talking about Sean Snedeker, of course, 32-year veteran pitching coach that came over to Baylor last season from Lamar, and well, what a huge turnaround this Baylor pitching staff has been able to do under his tutelage. But they went from 191st in the staff in pitching in 24 to top 30 in 4 categories. And really, Joe, one of the things that Snedeker brought to the mindset of the Baylor pitching staff was just to pound the strike zone. Trust your stuff. Let's not pick corners. Let's go after hitters. Pitch to contact. And they bought into that message. And it was an incredible turnaround. They were 7th in walked hitters from 191st the season before.
I think you do so much more when you can pitch to contact. You know, everybody loves the strikeout swinging, and there's a strikeout right there. But when you can pitch to contact and minimize those pitches, you do yourself a world of good as a pitching staff.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And Mike Bianco was giving Joe Harris a little lip in terms of, I think, ball strike calls, which they really can't argue, but he's pretty upset. He doesn't get usually that upset with a home plate umpire, but he did that time.
I didn't see anything that would warrant that.
Now, the swing and miss was Furness. It was a pitch up in the zone, but he swung through it. It might have been the pitch before that was called a strike.
Foley now with the runner in scoring position. Foley, the catcher. Now his ground ball to the third baseman, Clemens, was ruled an error, but he was also credited with an RBI, in which Reuter scored from third base.
Yeah, Foley had a breakout season last year, transferred over from Kentucky, and was a big-time middle of the lineup power bat for the Rebs, and takes that fastball inside corner.
Thinking that probably Stahl will, you know, when he was put in the starting lineup today after that spot start against Oregon State last week up in Round Rock, probably going 5 innings, and he gets a swinging strikeout here. But the way that he is attacking the zone, and you're tempted to leave him out there maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, and he's still working that arm strength up. Of course, you talked about the one start. He started the season in the bullpen, pitched a couple of innings opening weekend. He got that start last weekend and replaced Lucas Davenport, who was the Friday night starter for Baylor, but could not make the start because of a sore arm.
Dom Decker, top of the zone.
Stahl comes into that game and pitches 4 scoreless, and now gets the start tonight against Ole Miss. So you're right, it's probably not going to be an extended pitch count, maybe 65, 75 pitches in that range, but he's already at 63.
Decker had the sacrifice bunt that put runners at second and third, but then back-to-back strikeouts for Stahl of Sermons and Randall got him off the jam in that second inning. Reuter leading off with a double, but back-to-back strikeouts of Furness and Foley. Trying to finish off the hitter here and get out of another runner scoring position jam. So Decker lefty on lefty matchup. Just misses with that pitch. Kennett, see, try to frame that pitch and then try to get his call for his left-hander. Couldn't get it done from home plate umpire Joe Harris.
Yeah, Decker, one of those, another Murray State transfer for Ole Miss. On-base machine, does it again here.
Well, it's not the end of the world when you had a base open and 2 outs. You've fallen behind, so now you will go after the number 8 hitter on the lineup. There's Decker at first base. The Sermons struck out swinging his first time up. Time is called.
Yeah, first visit by Baylor pitching coach Sean Snedeker. You're probably getting up in that range with the pitch count that there is a little bit of concern. Just this is really his second start of the season. I think this is more a strategic session about how do we want to approach Tate Sermons.
Closing in on 70 pitches. And probably that's about his limit, I would imagine.
He stole the ball well. He may lobby in the dugout for another inning, but we'll see how that goes. He needs to work out of this jam first.
You know what it's like trying to lobby for an extra inning.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, I can go. I can go.
I'm good.
First pitch strike call on a breaking ball to Sermons.
Yeah, Sermons, a redshirt freshman. You know, typically platoons in left field. Mike Bianco's got a lot of weapons, and Sermons gets the start against the left-hander Stahl. This guy's got some great wheels, can fly. We saw him put his speed on display in left field a couple of times, and just a really good athlete for the Rebels.
Tied him up on that pitch. Foul tipped.
A good fastball in. He has done that a number of times, has Stahl, gone in with the fastball. And sometimes we'll finish with that changeup down and away. There it is.
That was a good block by catcher Kennett.
We talked about him not being, you know, typical size of a college catcher, but really athletic, moves around, does a good job positioning his body as Stahl picks up the strikeout.
And he ends up striking the side, out the side. Both starting pitchers striking out the side in the 4th inning, as we'll head to the 5th, all tied.
To test the toughness of the Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid, we recreated some of the wettest springs, hottest summers, windiest falls, and coldest winters to prove these 3-row SUVs were built for the unstoppable. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sorento.
What do you know about this baseball? Where samurai swing bats. Here, teammates become opponents. Anyone can be a superhero. And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball, with nothing held back. Expect everything.
Move along to inning number 5 from Daikin Park in Houston. Bruce Bowl College Classic, Friday afternoon. This is the second game of 9. Baylor will send up their number 9 hitter, J.J. Kennett. Kennett, the catcher, 0 for 1. Hunter Elliott, 8 strikeouts. He's ahead of the count 0-1. Kennett against Elliott. 0-2. Elliott named the 2026 Golden Spikes Award watch list. Highly decorated left-hander coming into this season. Preseason all-SEC team.
He's done a great job of turning this game around, and Talked about the slow start that he had in the first, but he has really come on strong the last few innings.
Strikeout pitch has been there for him.
Yeah, that fastball up in the zone and dropping those changeups down and away from right-handers. He's been really effective just moving those pitches around, and this time gets Kennett the fastball above his hands and just blows it right by him.
The last 6 outs that Baylor has recorded all have been strikeouts. Struck out the last 2 of the third, struck out the side of the fourth, and begins with a strikeout here of Janusek, the right fielder.
Just the double to Buchanan last inning.
Runs on the outer half of the plate. Meant to say Kennett struck out. Now it's Janusek at the plate.
Janusek, one of these super talented young players that Mitch Thompson's super excited about. This guy's a super athlete.
That ball moving away from Janusek.
Thompson said that Janusek has the type of power he can go out of the park in any direction.
According to the player rankings or D1 baseball, Hunter Elliott right up there at the very top. Swung on and missed, and that's 10 strikeouts for Elliott.
You know, Elliott has just done an incredible job since that first inning and really mixing his pitches up well. He's gone above the hands of these Baylor hitters. They keep chasing that fastball up. That one tails off the plate away, but it's one of the areas that Mitch Thompson was talking about that they really need to improve on. Baylor hitters just not making adjustments with 2 strikes, swinging too many pitches out of the strike zone, and that one just looks like it ticked the leg of Pearson Reebok. Second time he's been hit.
Now Reebok going down to first base. Second time he's been hit. Second time that Elliott has hit a Baylor Bear. This one comes inside and just grazes him on his leg, his thigh.
Yeah, it looked like Ole Miss, Mike Bianco was going to challenge that. He felt like Reebok stuck his leg into that pitch. So the umpires came together, and that challenge is coming from the Ole Miss dugout.
But that ball was riding in, though, in the left-handed batter's box.
Yeah, it looked like his knee went back in more of an avoidance to the ball than it did going into it. It looked like on the initial replay that we saw, we're taking a look at it here. Yeah, I don't think there was any indication that Reebok turned himself into the ball. I think he's just ducking that hip away from it, but it did nick the top half of his leg.
Maybe the argument is that maybe it didn't hit him?
I don't think that's the argument. I think they're saying he made an intentional move into the baseball. Yeah, I did not see an intentional movement towards the baseball.
So if the call will stand, it would be a hit by pitch. So his call does stand.
Yep, Ole Miss loses the challenge. They do have one left.
Reebok with 2 outs, hit by the pitch. Now it's Tice Armstrong. So Armstrong trying to keep this inning going. Elliott is so good with that move over to first base. The next pitch will be Elliott's 81st pitch today. Boy, that move is really deceptive. How was your first base move, Pat?
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you know, not as good as that. He's got a really good one, very deceptive, that slow leg movement. You know, I try to be a little bit quicker to the plate, but you got to make a decision. Do you want to have a big slow leg kick with a better move, or do you want to have a quicker step to the plate, give your catcher a chance to throw runners out? I was kind of a tweener guy. I could go both ways, but there were times when I would slide step. There were times when I would lift.
Armstrong 0 for 1. Struck out his last time. 10 strikeouts for Elliott. Ahead in the count 0-2 to Armstrong.
I struck out Armstrong on 3 pitches at last at bat. Trying to do it again.
That's one of the weapons that a left-hander can utilize to his advantage, keeping runners at bay. You don't see many right-handers that can do that unless they just get rid of the ball quickly. One always comes to mind. You remember big Rick Russell?
Oh, yeah.
He could get rid of the ball quickly, and whoever was catching him always had a great shot getting that runner at second base. At least for a right-hander.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you really have to work on. If you're a left-handed pitcher, you want to develop a good move. I mean, it's like standing in the mirror, you know, trying to replicate that leg kick and trying to be deceptive with your head. It's the movement with the head and the shoulders that makes the difference.
Mike Hampton had a good move over
Oh, you did. Yep.
Foul back to the screen. Of course, Mike Hampton played here in Houston. Another good left-hander that had a fantastic move was Tom Glavine.
Good move from Glavine. We had a guy in the minor leagues. He unfortunately didn't play in the big leagues, but played in AAA named Mike Sims. He picked off 41 guys one season. We would put him in relief situations just to pick guys off. Yeah, he came in a couple of times. He didn't have to throw a pitch. He just picked a guy off first base. It was the craziest thing. Everybody in the league knew he had a great move, but he'd still pick him off.
There was a Mike Sims that actually played for the Astros. Not the same Mike Sims, though. Battle here with Elliott and with Armstrong. And he gets him to swing and miss. And for the second straight inning, Hunter Elliott strikes out the side. He has 11 as we're in the middle of the 5th.
"32 of living. I still have yet to try the coveted butter tortilla. So, I mean, have I really lived? Days pass by, filled with orange-brown goo. Not another airplane. One day, I will taste what is meant to be mine. Really? No! Another plan thwarted. Wait, those tortillas are getting torn far too thin for adult consumption. Could this mean... Yes!
This isn't us saying we make an EV. This is us saying we make an EV worthy of being a Lexus. Because the greatest measure of an automobile is how it makes you feel. The all-electric RZ.
Lease the 2026 RZ 350e for $399 a month for 42 months.
It turned into a pitcher's duel. As we moved along to the bottom of the 5th between Baylor and Ole Miss. Speaking of pitchers, we got a new one for the Baylor Bears, Charlie Atkinson. Right-hander coming on for Stefan Stahl, who I thought Stefan Stahl pitched very well in the start that he had. 4 innings today.
Yeah, he really did, and it's another great outing back-to-back for Stahl. A couple of 4-inning outings, only give up the 3 hits and the 1 earned run. Struck out 8 Ole Miss Rebels. That changeup was working well against right-handers. A couple of fastballs up in the zone that worked well. As
you can see in these highlights, I don't think there's many pitches down the middle. There's a lot of movement on them.
Yeah, that fastball was tailing away from right-handers, and of course mixed in some good sliders and curveballs, and an excellent outing. You get another one to build on for Stahl as he continues to build arm strength.
So Atkinson going to try to keep Ole Miss off the board. Atkinson, a local product from Katy. Katy, about 35 miles. Well, not 35 miles, about 35-minute drive. I-10 west outside of the Houston area.
Yeah, transferred from Dallas Baptist, started his career there, and came over to Baylor and had a great summer. Has built upon that with a great fall, and looked upon to be a big piece of this Baylor bullpen. Kind of a bridge guy today, piggybacking off the start of Stahl, but you can see that straight over the top angle. Fastball sits in that 90 to 93 mile-an-hour range. Cutter, slider, change. Changeup can be nasty when he's down in the zone.
Atkinson cut on and missed. Randall 0 for 1, struck out looking his first time up. Number 9 hitter. This is going to be an easy play for Armstrong. One up and one down for Atkinson out of the bullpen.
Atkinson had a great summer, was an all-star in the Appalachian League. And Baylor had a really strong fall. Had a couple of good swing and miss type pitches, that changeup and that slider.
We're talking about Atkinson being from Katy, Texas. There's 31 players from Baylor's roster from the state of Texas. Then you have one from Indiana, one from Louisiana, one from Mississippi, one from New Jersey, one from Pennsylvania, and one from Virginia. Meanwhile, for Ole Miss, obviously because they're not in the same state, but they have 4 players from the state of Texas. 5 from Georgia.
Yeah, Ole Miss recruits well in Texas, and you think about their recruiting coordinator, Carl Lafferty, does a great job, and Laff has had 15 top 25 classes in recruiting, and they do make Texas a priority.
Well, as I mentioned, 5 from the state of Georgia and 4 from Texas. That's the most on their roster. Ball gets away from the catcher, Kennett. He'll throw to first to complete the strikeout. Another strikeout. Ole Miss.
A nasty changeup that time from Atkinson, and kind of tied up Kennett, but did a good job recovering and locating it, making a strong throw to first base.
So the next strikeout for Baylor pitching and put them in double digits. Utermark, third baseman. He's got 2 strikeouts.
Which you get a little bit easier for the hitters now that the shadows have disappeared from Dyken Park, and it's always a big deal when you play these day games, and especially balls that go up in the sky. And these college players are typically used to seeing balls go up, but not when it comes out of the stands. When you have upper deck type of stands, it's a different view. But it's just a Bluebird Commerce Day here in Houston, Texas. I mean, it's just beautiful, and it's going to be a little easier for hitters to see pitches and outfitters to find fly balls.
As we highlighted at the beginning of the broadcast, Texas and Coastal Carolina will wrap up day 1. That is coming up after this ball game.
I see some burnt orange already heading into the stands. Trying to get their seats early for that one. That'll be a fun game. 2 top 10 teams in the country.
2-out walk. Utermark reaches base for the first time today.
Oh, what a day to watch baseball, man. Couldn't have drawn it up any better, Gerald.
Agreed. Absolutely. Becerra. High and inside. I'll say this, in the greater Houston area, we really didn't have a long, prolonged cold spell this winter. It was relatively mild. I think we had 1 week of freezing temperatures. That was about it. Of course, everybody runs to the grocery store when they talk
Right.
about that.
Yeah, I was up in the, of course, living in the Dallas area, and we had it shut down for about 4 or 5 days. That ice was thick, man. It was,
a little bit different up there.
Yeah. Yeah, you need that hard freeze in Houston, though, to kill those mosquitoes, man. You get those light winters, and about May or June, you were wishing you had a colder one. The mosquitoes are out there snapping you up.
You know, before the Astros moved into the Astrodome, old Colt Stadium, it was brutal for fans with the heat and the mosquitoes.
And the humidity, yeah, right?
Yeah, the humidity. This one driven in the air. Right field. Ballpark is not going to hold it. Becerra breaks the tie with the towering home run to right field.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter off the bat of Tristan Becerra. And the only question was it going to stay fair? The ball was hooking towards that foul pole, and stays fair by at least 15, 20 feet. But it was high up towards that second deck here at Daikin Park. And it was a big 2-run bomb for Becerra.
4 home runs now for Tristan Becerra, the right fielder for Ole Miss. After the first 2 were retired, Utermark walks, Becerra home run. And they always say it's not the home runs that hurt you, it's the walks before. And that 2-out walk kept the inning going.
Sure did. Yeah, here's the pitch. It looks like a cut fastball that just sails out of the middle plate. Becerra right on time with it. Barrels it up, and he knew it right off the bat.
Coming in, making a diving attempt, and that is out number 3. Hunter Snow makes an outstanding catch in left to end the bottom of the 5th.
H-Town, I've been waiting for it, you've been waiting for it, and now it's here.
They finally climbed that hill!
Catch your Rockets and Astros games for just $19.99 per month, or sign up all year for $199.99. That's $40 in savings.
Forget about it!
No cable, no satellite, no contracts. Just download the app and watch your teams.
Stream your teams direct with Space City Home Network Plus. Download today at SCHNplus.com.
Hello, everyone. Your favorite pro, Jason Alexander here, lighting it up on the Pro Show, where we'll hang out with our favorite sporting celebrities, get tips and stories with the Rocket, Roger Clemens, and Captain America, Patrick Reed. Yes, we'll fire a couple golf balls out of studio and get ready to be inspired, meeting Austin and all of his friends. So check your local listings right here on the Space City Home Network. We'll see you all on the first tee with plenty of finger fives on the way. Right, Austin?
Well, Hunter Elliott had himself an afternoon. 5 innings, 11 strikeouts. He started the game rocky, but he just improved as the game went along.
Yeah, after that first inning was really unhittable, and only the double to Braden Buchanan in the 4th. Outside of that, Hunter Elliott proved himself up as this legit Friday night starter. Recovered well after that shaky start. Had a walk, a hit batter, a walk, and then a single. Could not retire one of the first Baylor 4 hitters, but boy, did he recuperate, get himself back on track, and had an outstanding day. So Elliott will exit with 85 pitches and give way to Hudson Calhoun.
Calhoun coming on. The right-hander, Calhoun, a junior. Tupelo, Mississippi. Calhoun going to try to keep the 2-run lead for Ole Miss as we're in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Hudson Calhoun, a really big power arm out of that bullpen for Ole Miss, and definitely put himself into talking to that starting rotation for the Rebels, and now piggybacking this start with Hunter Elliott. Had an outstanding fall, and last year went 3-0 with 5.11 earned run average. Off to a good start this season as well.
Sanders has one of the 2 hits for Baylor today. The outer half of the plate.
That slider could be an out pitch. Tight spin, tight rotation, hard to pick up off his hand, and fastball is going to sit in the low 90s.
Beautiful. Right at the knees, too. Last year, as a sophomore, Calhoun making 21 appearances, all out of the bullpen. Got a 3-0 record. It was tough to hit last year. Only a 170 batting average against him.
Yeah, that slider is devastating. It's a really tough pitch, and hitters will tell you just so hard to pick the spin up off his hand. It's got great arm action and tunnels that fastball and slider really well.
Just missing off the outer half of the plate. And Sanders knew that was outside, shaking his head. Yeah, thought that was outside.
Yeah, I think he wanted that pitch, but see Foley trying to frame it up. Yeah, it was just off the plate. A good frame job by the Rebel catcher. Trying to buy that strike.
Full count. Blows him away. Came right after him there on a 3-2, and the second time that Sanders has struck out today. 12 strikeouts for Rebel pitching.
Well, slow him down, speed him up. That 95-mile-an-hour fastball up and in on Sanders, and could not quite pull the trigger with getting that barrel around. Got it by him. Good setup.
Always been impressed as Snow down the count. Always impressed that when you know a pitcher is going to throw the pitch and he still gets one over you, that's something right there.
Well, that's the name of the game, right? It's speeding the bat up, slowing it down, mixing your pitches up. That's Calhoun's got that power slider working to set hitters up with the fastball, and when you get that pitch over and you got command of your top 2, it makes it really difficult on a hitter. And sometimes you can guess right and win. And most of the time you're just trying to time a pitch up, and that time going fastball in again. Fastball sitting 93 to 95, and you pair that up with that nasty slider, it just makes it tough on hitters.
Yeah, because it's not always necessarily the velocity that gets you, it's the changing of the speeds that'll really throw you off.
Yeah, it's all timing. And we haven't seen the changeup yet, but that's one of the pitches that I know he's trying to work more changeups into the sequences.
Over on the left side, Clemens making the play. Snow retired.
Yeah, if you want to start at this level, that's exactly what to do, Gerald. You have to have really 3 pitches and change the speed, especially if you have a fastball slider. You definitely want to change up to slow those bats down, and that's the pitch I think will put him over the top if he wants to get into a rotation spot.
It's Braden Buchanan. That's one of the things that has changed about baseball. I've noticed. We'll have to touch on that point in the next half inning, as it's a 1-2-3 for Hudson Calhoun, the right-hander for the Ole Miss Rebels, as they lead by 2 in the middle of the 6th.
Bold are the adventurous. Determined are the leaders. Faithful are the healers. At Baylor, you'll find your calling, your people, and your purpose. Dare to be you, indeed.
With investing options from Navy Federal Credit Union, Rob feels financially at ease, which means he can worry about other things like landing this fish. What if the fish is really big? What if it's not a fish? What if it's treasure? What if the treasure is cursed? Rob has a lot of things to worry about, but as a member of Navy Federal, his finances aren't one of them. Become a member today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Ole Miss leading by 2, bottom of the 6th inning. Let's go back and look at the home run that gave Ole Miss the lead to Tristan Becerra. It's Charlie Atkinson. Look at this pitch right here.
Yeah, it's a cut fastball, Gerald. You see that pitch start kind of outside part of the plate, drifts over the middle of the plate. And you ask yourself, why would a right-hander throw a cut fastball to a left-handed hitter? Well, you're trying to start that pitch middle and get it in the inside, get it off his barrel. But he started it to the outside part of the plate. And Becerra just timed it up perfectly and put the barrel on it. So that was just a mistake pitch by Atkinson. But, you know, you get folks at home going, wow, why would you throw that pitch in that situation to a power hitter? Well, he's trying to get it. He's trying to jam him with that pitch. Just didn't get it in.
That's why they call it a mistake.
That's right. Good hitters hit mistakes.
Will Furness, the hitter. This is Will Furness, who has some great baseball in his blood. His father, Eddie Furness. That name ring a bell?
Oh, yeah. Former big leaguer.
LSU.
Oh, LSU, that's right. Yeah.
Late 90s.
Retired his number, didn't they?
They retired his number. Yeah. The second player at the time for LSU to have their number retired. From Nacogdoches. That's a leadoff walk. Will takes the walk.
Yeah, really pitched Furness careful there, and you got to do that with his type of power, but you also don't want to walk the leadoff guy.
Will Furness's dad, Eddie, talked about how his father, Will's grandfather, built Eddie at the time when he was young a batting cage in Nacogdoches and had him start learning how to hit at a very early age.
So were you jealous you didn't have a batting cage in your backyard? I saw that look on your face. I didn't have one either. I had my buddy had one.
Yeah.
I had the old, remember the old Iron Mike pitching machine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Had that set up in his backyard, old Ed Burns, and I spent many a summer days hitting off that cage. Because you know pitchers always think we can hit.
Yes, I was just about to say. Guards always think they can play center. Center, they think they can play guards in basketball. And pitchers think they can hit.
Always think they can hit. I was not the Rick Rhoden of my time, I promise you. That guy could hit.
Yeah, Austin Foley. Rick Rhoden, who was a former Astro after Nolan Ryan left to Texas, 1989. Him and Jim Clancy were brought in to the Astros. Right. Didn't work out, though.
Well, one of my proudest moments, I did run into one in AAA. I got to hit one out in Ottawa, Canada. I had to go to Canada to hit one out.
Really?
Yep. It was a scoreboard shot, too. It was a bomb.
You know, I got to admit, that you are one of my immaculate grid answers on played for only one team.
Yeah.
This one's lifted in the air. Kennett, catcher. That's difficult, and he's able to stay with it. That was not easy.
That was a circus catch as you're going to see from a catcher. Poor Kennett dropped the mask, stepped on his helmet, did a roundabout, finally catches it.
It's difficult as it is for a catcher to make a play like this. And on top of that, battling the mask that you just threw to the side.
Did a nice job, though, recovering and making the catch. That's a tough one. That ball straight up on the plate. The catchers will tell you that's always the toughest to judge.
Decker. Kennett, definitely got to give him a star on that. It was just a pop-up. It was not an easy play. But we talked about Baylor and how great of defense that they have. They did commit one error to allow them, Ole Miss, to get a run. But coming into the game, they'd only committed 4 errors, so the first 8 ball games.
Yeah. Both these teams really good defensively. And again, it speaks to the athleticism of both clubs. But Baylor off to a great start. You mentioned the 4 errors in 8 games. That's terrific. Well, Gerald, I know you're a trivia guy. You and I always talk trivia, but last year I'm sitting in the Astros. I went to one Astros game last year. Came down. I got a buddy here. Got great seats. And on the scoreboard, they have the trivia here at Daikin Park. Usually about the 6th inning or so. Only 2 players in Major League history have started their professional career at A-ball. They touched A, AA, AAA to the big leagues in the same season, their first year in professional baseball. I got you, don't I?
I should know this.
So I'll give you one. One of the players is Andrew Jones.
Okay.
Right? You know who the other one is? You sit next to him.
Ryan Bogasevic? Just kidding, Pat.
You'll sit with him tomorrow. How about that? The only game I come to last year, they put the trivia question on the board. My buddy's laughing, going, I knew that was you.
Ladies and gentlemen, former big leaguer, Pat Combs. I know, Pat, when I mention you sometimes to guys that say, oh, yeah, you're working with Pat Combs. And you know what they always bring up? The fight with Dwight Gooden.
That's the one. I know. I still get 10 to 12 letters a week on cards to sign. I guess I'm one of the few guys that still signs baseball cards and sends them back. But they mention, the Phillies fans still mention that. They love that.
This could be 2, and it is. It's a double play to end the bottom of the 6th as Decker grounds out and Atkinson faces the minimum in the bottom of the 6th.
Play for the last Ultra?
Well, let's go.
Wait a second. Let him play.
Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer.
Space City Home Network is now streaming on Fubo. Watch the Astros and more of your local teams. Streaming live on all your devices. Plus, over 350 top channels. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Life doesn't fit in a box, and neither should your coverage. At Higginbotham, we listen first, because every home, every business, and every person is different. From insurance to HR to financial solutions, we help protect what matters most, your people, your livelihood, and what you're building for the future. That's what it means to put people first. Higginbotham, insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
Every shot's lively, every shot means something. Really kind of got an energy that's different than a lot of the rest of the course.
There's so many people here, so it's a little bit more than a golf clap.
Well, you're right on top of the action, and it's gotten pretty loud coming through already.
It's nice to see how the professionals play the same holes that we've played. Truly a great experience. It's easily the best hole on the course.
Gerald Sanchez along with Pat Combs moving to inning number 7. Baylor Bears coming up, trailing by 2. Hudson Calhoun in his second inning of relief.
Got a pinch hitter. He's Cade Dotson. Yep.
Dotson. Dotson batting for Bryton Clemens.
He's a transfer from UTA. Baylor picked up two of those guys, Tice Armstrong and Cade Dotson. Of course, Cade Dotson, a son of a former Baylor player.
Outer half of the plate.
Yeah, a couple of good pitches there from Hudson Calhoun. So, we talked about Baylor really doing a good job of creating havoc on the base paths. Well, how do you neutralize an offensive team that likes to run? Well, how about 12 strikeouts? That'll do it. Just keeping guys off the base paths. And, of course, we saw the great moves by Hunter Elliott, the left-handed starter, keeping guys close at first base. But Calhoun is just mowing them down at the moment.
It's a great pitch right there to get Dotson to strike out swinging. Ty Johnson. With the exception of Pearson Reebok, there has been a Baylor Bear that has struck out. Reebok is the only player that has not struck out against Ole Miss pitching.
That's because they hit him twice. It's one way to keep a guy from striking out.
Yeah, that's true. Johnson, center fielder. The thing I notice about Calhoun, he doesn't mess around. He throws strikes.
He throws strikes, works fast. Yeah, that devastating slider has been great command of that pitch. Doesn't matter lefties or righties, he's not afraid to throw it any time.
It's jammed. That's 2 away. Well, Baylor only has 2 hits today. The Rebel pitching has done outstanding as the game has progressed. Hunter Elliott was shaky in that first, but he settled down. You know, when you got a pitcher on the ropes, especially a really good pitcher like Hunter Elliott, you want to knock him out early.
Yeah, he definitely escaped that first inning. You're right.
Did.
Yep.
Because the way that he pitched after walking a one-out walk in that second inning, he started to get really in rhythm and in command.
And you can kind of see him speed up his game. That first inning was so slow, and he was just doing too much thinking.
Off speed is hit over to the left side, and it's a high throw, but Sanders gets the out.
Kids, want to be a part of something big? Join the Astros Buddies Club, presented by HEB, the official kids club of the Houston Astros. Members 12 and under get 4 tickets to select Astros games, plus awesome gear, a drawstring bag, a widget hat, socks, shoe charms, and a cool lanyard. You'll also have chances to be a part of exclusive experiences like autograph sessions, clinics, parades, and more. All this for just $45. Sign up at astros.com/buddies and become part of the team today.
Hello, everyone. Your favorite pro, Jason Alexander, here to lighten it up on the Pro Show, where we're getting to hang with our favorite sporting celebrities. We've got stories with the Rocket, Roger Clemens, golf tips with Patrick Reed. We'll hit a couple of shots out of studio, hear our favorite celebrities' top 3, and don't forget about KOB, Coach Classics, Miss Dion, and get ready to be inspired with Austin and Friends. Plenty of Figure Fives on the way. So check your local listings right here on the Space City Home Network, and we'll see y'all on the first tee.
Hey H-Town, I've been waiting for it, you've been waiting for it, and now it's here.
They finally climbed that hill!
Catch your Rockets and Astros games for just $19.99 per month, or sign up all year for $199.99. That's $40 in savings.
Forget about it!
No cable, no satellite, no contracts. Just download the app and watch your teams.
Stream your teams direct with Space City Home Network Plus. Download today at SCHNplus.com.
2-run lead for Ole Miss going to the bottom of the 7th inning. And the third baseman that came on as a pinch hitter, Kate Dotson, stays in the ball game. So Ole Miss going to have Cannon Golden pinch hit for Tate Sermons. And he hits this one into center field. It's Johnson there, 1 away. Golden flying out on 1 pitch from reliever Charlie Atkinson.
Well, Gerald, Ole Miss was a team that went 43-21 last season. Hosted a regional for the first time since 21, and 1 game away from that super regional. And when you think about what they had to do to replace 4 of their big hitters in the middle of that lineup, and that's where the portal comes in handy. And that's exactly what Mike Bianco talked about, was you have to fill those holes and use the portal well, but again, still stay committed to developing younger players. But they have done a tremendous job in the middle of this lineup.
Janusek making the play out to right as Randall puts that one into right. Using the portal, it is who heard of that 10 years ago?
Yeah, right. Wasn't around. It wasn't an option.
It seemed like everything changed after 2020.
Yeah, the old COVID year, right?
Yep.
I think what coaches, have the biggest problem, and a lot of the coaches we talked to during the week had the same comment about, there were just so many changes in baseball so quickly, right? It was just hard to adapt, and really put some of these head coaches in the position of, well, do we go after portal guys? Do we continue to develop our guys and you stay committed to development? Which every coach will tell you, oh, we stay committed to it, but then you have the opportunity to rebuild your club very quickly, and that's what the portal has allowed. So when you've had players drafted, and last year Ole Miss had a ton of players drafted, not only off their lineup, but they had was it 8 guys? I think it was 8 pitchers drafted in 25. That tied for the most in the nation. So Joel Mangrum had to go out and look for new arms. And the clubs that do that well, that get onto those portal guys early and get them committed, that's oftentimes what you see. Clubs that can respond and rebuild very quickly.
Mike Bianco took over this program back in 2001. Remember going to Ole Miss back in 2012, and really that was a great experience. Now they love their SEC baseball in Oxford.
And Mike talked about, he of course, played his career at LSU and under Skip Bertman. We had a great conversation about that. I had a chance to play for Skip on the '88 USA team, and just one of the all-time great pitching coaches ever in college baseball. And Mike learned from him and took his same philosophy to Ole Miss. And he said, I worked with the pitchers for the first 24 years of my career, but I also learned I had to take a step back and bring in another pitching coach. And he did that with Mangrum, and it's worked out beautifully. But he said at this level now, especially in these Power 4 conferences, head coaches have to be more CEOs rather than day-to-day coaches. So they have to kind of give up and delegate. But both Mitch Thompson and Mike Bianco have done a great job of that.
Which also explains the expanded coaching.
Exactly, right? It's a big deal. When they got that 4th coach approved last year, that changed the ability for these coaches to be less day-to-day coaches and become more of that CEO type. As Mitch Thompson heads out, looks like he will take the ball from Charlie Atkinson, who did a great job in relief of Stefan Stahl.
So we'll have the new pitcher for the Baylor Bears when we come back. Ole Miss batting in the bottom of the 7th, leading by 2.
The Whataburger Monterey Melt is back? You've got some nerve showing up here again, looking all delicious with your fresh all-beef patties, melty cheeses, grilled peppers and onions, and jalapeno ranch. When I want you, you're nowhere to be found. And now you're back? Aw, get in here. We just missed you, that's all. The Whataburger Monterey Melt is back and harder to resist than ever. Download the app. What a burger!
Born with power. Tested by time. Texas is Ford Truck Month. Woo! And this is Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. Hop in and drive the Stampede.
Drive F-150 with 0 for 60, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Fences are failing all over the park. John, I can't get Jurassic Park back online without...
Whoa, this place is awesome. By the way, you should have plugged this in.
Well, this is going to be a lovely weekend.
If you like pina colada.
I'll take it. My arms are longer. Do the roar again.
A whole new species of Wi-Fi at the same price for 5 years.
Ole Miss fans having some fun with their ball club leading by 2, bottom of the 7th inning. And Mitch Thompson of the Baylor Bears going to the bullpen. Brings on sidewinding right-hander Grayson Murray. Murray, a workhorse last year for the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, had a great season. He was a setup guy, late inning guy for Baylor, and set the games up so well for Gabe Craig. Of course, the All-American closer for Baylor last season, who was all-world and just had one of the best seasons ever out of the Baylor bullpen. But Murray was the setup guy. He got the Bears to Craig, and as you said, had a great season. Held opponents to 181 batting average. Had a 2.19 ERA. Gerald, as you mentioned, the 24 innings that he threw last season. It's a funky delivery. It's you mentioned the sidearm release. It also does some funky things with his lower half, but brings that fastball 89-91 with that low 80 slider. It's nasty stuff.
Utermark, third baseman. Judd Utermark batting with Federico at first base. Ball gets away from the first baseman, Armstrong. And not stopping at second, Federico going to third, and he'll slide in. And that is an error on the pitcher, Murray. Before Murray throws a pitch, he commits an error.
And just a wide throw first base, no chance for Tice Armstrong, and it just snuck under the glove of Armstrong at first base. If Federico can fly, that was going to be a two-base error all the way.
Not a lot of foul territory here at Daikin Park, but enough to get a quick runner, Federico, who runs well over to third. Baylor going to try to keep it to a 2-run game. Utermark going to try to drive in his teammate Federico, who's at third. Ball looked like that hung on the middle of the plate, but Utermark unable to connect.
Yeah, slider kind of backed up on Murray that time. And see Murray, very atypical, has that back foot lined up on the far left side of the rubber. You don't usually see right-handers set up that way. And
this is lifted in the air, right side. Reebok puts it away. And Federico for Ole Miss is stranded at third. Heading to the 8th.
Country superstars are coming to Rodeo Houston. They have 17 #1 hits. Rascal Flats. The legendary Dwight Yoakam. One of the best-selling music artists of all time, Tim McGraw. Full lineup and tickets at rodeohouston.com.
Hudson Calhoun for the Ole Miss Rebels. Trying to hang on to a 2-run lead. He's been pretty good since coming out of the bullpen. Coming for Hunter Elliott.
Yeah, he has been outstanding. A couple of innings. Has not given up a hit. No free passes, a couple of punch outs for Hudson Calhoun.
So you got some changes in the outfield defensively for Ole Miss. We'll get to that here in just a minute. Janusek, right fielder, cut on and miss.
It looks like Tristan Becerra moved over from right to left, and then Brett Mosley has taken over right field for the Rebels.
Oh, 2. And Janusek is made of quick work. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yeah, nasty slider, just stuck with it.
That's the 3rd strikeout now for Hudson Calhoun. And 14 strikeouts for Ole Miss pitching.
And one of the areas that Mitch Thompson really emphasized with his team, trying to cut down strikeouts. You know, the problem with it, when you try to start talking about that, you don't want to get it in your hitters' heads. Guys, we got to cut down on strikeouts. They start thinking about it.
That's too late right there,
right? Yeah, so it's one of those things you kind of have to work your way out. You want to, of course, highlight it. Hey, guys, cut the swings down. Let's put the ball in play. But you don't want to. You want to stay away from that language of too many strikeouts.
Pearson Reebok is the only hitter in the lineup that has not struck out against Rebel pitching today. And as Pat said earlier, you can't strike out when you get hit by a pitch, as he has been hit by the pitch twice. Once in the 1st and once in the 5th. He scored also the lone run for Baylor back in the 1st inning. Great placement at the bottom of the zone. Well, you couldn't ask for a better placement like that with the velocity that Hudson Calhoun is bringing to the plate.
Yeah, 94 at the knees.
I like his body language. It looks like he is in control today. On the outer half of the plate.
Yeah, backdoor slider that time, and just tells you how he has a great feel for that pitch. He's moved that slider around in and out. Backdoored a couple of them against left-handers, and makes it really difficult on these hitters.
And on the outer half of the plate, he gets that strike 2, gets strike 3 on the inner half of the plate. Beautiful job of pitching by Hudson Calhoun.
Yeah, total control there. 95 inside corner. Just ties Reebok up.
Back-to-back strikeouts to start the 8th. Here's Armstrong. Now, you know that Armstrong can make you pay if you make a mistake. And with those inviting Crawford boxes to left field. Sometimes, you know, when you think about it, getting into your head, as you talked about, that'll get into your head as well. You know, that looks like it's so inviting to hit a ball, get it over the Crawford boxes in left field, and you start getting out of your swing.
Yeah, certainly the back of your mind as a pitcher when you come into this ballpark, you look down that left field line, it's 315 as Armstrong takes that fastball up and in.
And they used to call it home run field the very first year it opened. But I think when the Astros learned how to pitch here, Larry Durker talked about that. He was the manager at the time. Got them to a division championship the following year in 2001.
Well, Armstrong has brought a ton of power to the middle of this Baylor lineup. You have guys that played here for 2-3 years that left the program, like Enzo Apodaca, Wesley Jordan, Hunter Simmons. A lot of power in the middle of that Baylor lineup. And Armstrong has come in and given plenty of pop. It's a little protection behind him with Travis Sanders. Sanders, one of college baseball's better shortstops. Brings a ton of power as well.
The payoff to Armstrong. Big cut, and he'll get a chance to look at another pitch. Well, Armstrong has struck out twice. Reebok, who hadn't struck out until the batter before, was the second out. And this is a 2-out walk. And that was a good at-bat from Tice Armstrong.
Yeah, it really was. You know, you talk about players not taking selfish at-bats and take what the pitcher gives you, especially in a 2-run game. Armstrong will take the walk and set the table for Sanders, and you know, just a good mature at-bat.
It'll bring up the shortstop, Travis Sanders. That's going to bring out a pitching coach for Ole Miss.
And Joe Mangrum, haven't seen him since that first inning.
You know, he talked about the changes in the game with, you know, the additional coach. And, you know, one of the other changes that Mike Bianco talked about, as well as Mitch Thompson, is the analytics and the way that is played into the ball game now, more so than ever before.
Well, no doubt. It's the matchups, it's the scouting reports, of course, the analytics that have come so far in a short amount of time in terms of, you know, pitchers' spin rates and where their arm angles produce better pitches. That's all done in those pitching labs now that every Division I baseball program has, and certainly a lot of clubs have taken advantage of that to help pitchers develop. You know, we're seeing some arms now that you know, can translate quickly to the big leagues in Division I college baseball. You know, years ago you might see that one guy that would come around every few years that could make that jump, but now we're seeing multiple pitchers. I think it's just a testament to the way these clubs are using analytics and their development of players.
Well, you also see that at the major league level as Travis Sanders cut on a miss. You remember when you played, you had maybe one guy that could throw 90 plus at the back end of a bullpen. Now managers are able to go to a bullpen with a plethora of guys that can throw 95, and it's just changed.
Yeah, it sure has. I mean, the physicality of this game it's never been better.
Line to left, and Baylor, after a 2-out walk to Armstrong, Sanders keeps the inning going.
Yeah, got a kind of a front door slider that time from Calhoun, and one of the few mistakes he's made to right-handers with that pitch. That pitch started out inside, kind of drifted over the middle of the plate. Sanders put a great swing on it.
This is the third inning of relief for Hudson Calhoun. He's closing in on 40 pitches.
Ole Miss does have bullpen action going. It's Landon Koenig getting loose.
There's a fly ball, left field. It is up, and it's into the Crawford boxes. We talked about it. The home run, an opposite field shot by Hunter Snow, and Baylor reclaims the lead.
How about that? Only takes one swing, and talked about the power that Baylor has added to this lineup, and Hunter Snow comes through in the clutch.
Look at this pitch right there. Outer half of the plate. Not a bad pitch from Calhoun.
Yeah, he just sat on that fastball, was looking to go the other way, and Hunter Snow had a great approach there. Went with the pitch. Drives it into the seats, and look, Crawford boxes or not, that ball would have been out at a lot of ballparks.
I was just about to make that point.
He put a charge into that one.
And Pat, it all started with the 2-out walk.
That's it. And Calhoun looked just almost absolutely unhittable. And the question is, do they stick with him one hitter too long? Well, yeah, you can make that case, but you still have to have a hitter that can hit it out. So Koenig will take over for Calhoun. Now Baylor has gone up by a run on Ole Miss, 4-3.
According to Car and Driver, the Honda CR-V does everything right. CR-V has massive cargo space, athletic performance, a refined interior with a huge back seat, affordability, and Honda's reputation for reliability. Maybe that's why the Honda CR-V's made the Car and Driver 10 Best list 4 years in a row. Right now, well-qualified buyers can lease the Honda CR-V starting at just $279 a month. Honda, proud partner of Team USA.
Imagine you are her or him. Like everyone, a sprain, tear, or nagging ache can set you back. Until your expert orthopedic team at Houston Methodist uses advanced technology to personalize a treatment plan that's minimally invasive, heals your pain, and gets you back to life on your terms. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. For you. Houston Methodist. Leading medicine.
Space City Home Network and Academy Sports and Outdoors are proud to celebrate Black History Month. Moses once said, "You ain't done it till you've done it at Fondy." Because the truth is, if you've truly made a name for yourself in the echoes of Houston basketball, chances are, at some point, you did it here at Fondy.
Well, a turn of events here with Hunter Snow going opposite field. A 3-run shot with 2 outs. And Mike Bianca is summoning Landon Koenig, a right-hander, out of the bullpen.
Yeah, the power arm from North Dakota State transferred in, and it could be the answer for Ole Miss in that closer role. It's a power arm. You'll see the fastball 95 to 98. Power slider and a split change, but it looks the part of becoming the next Rebel closer. See the stats on the year, has not given up an earned run. Has 1 win under his belt. 7 punch outs, no walks.
Baylor's going to go with the pinch hitter. John Ewens is coming on as a pinch hitter, a freshman. He's batting for Braden Buchanan, the designated hitter. Koenig, right-hander.
He did spend some time at Arkansas and LSU and then transferred in from North Dakota State. Just pounds the strike zone.
First pitch swinging. John Ewens comes up empty on that cut. Foul ball, and he's down to count 0-2.
It's a split change. It came in at 87.
Ewens, a little bit below 200. Does have a home run with 5 RBIs. John Ewens. Takes this one low.
How about the swing by Hunter Snow, the redshirt freshman? Did get the action last year and had a great fall. Comes in and put Baylor up by 1.
Pardon, Ewens a sophomore, but he cuts and misses here. And Ole Miss eventually strikes out the side, but a 2-out walk, a hit, and a 3-run opposite field home run. And the gentleman right there, Hunter Snow, gives Baylor a 1-run lead heading to the bottom of the 8th.
Hotty toddy is our cheer, but what does it mean? It's hey, nice to meet you, or good to see you, old friend. We say it to celebrate, to congratulate, and yeah, to brag a little. Hotty toddy is your first day on campus. It's fall Saturdays under old oaks and spring Friday nights under showers of fireworks. It's opportunity, growth, knowledge. It's discovering who you're meant to be in a place that will always be home, no matter how far you go. Hotty toddy, y'all.
2026 is already heating up, and we're giving you the ultimate head start. Get guaranteed access to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Secure the best seat locations in Daikin Park. Enjoy 45% savings over single-game ticket prices. Plus, receive significant savings with your exclusive team store discount. And don't forget about your exclusive invite to season ticket holder experiences and events. Visit astros.com/season tickets for more information.
New Nissan?
Correct.
Hey. You got to put it through its paces.
You can take it.
Hurry into the Nissan Now sales event featuring Rogue, Pathfinder, and Frontier. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue, or get up to $1,750 total bonus cash on Sentra.
Tristan Becerra, long ball for the Ole Miss Rebels, and that gave them a 2-run lead as he's coming up to the plate now for the Rebels. Home run coming in the 5th inning. Grayson Murray.
Yeah, Murray's in his 2nd year at Baylor, came over from Tyler Junior College and vying for that closer's role for the Bears.
Lifted in the air, high fly, and it is gone! His 2nd home run. Becerra ties the game.
Yeah, what a swing, what an approach. He pulled that cut fastball down the right field line for his 2-run homer. This time goes solo to left field and looked like a hanging slider from Murray. Goes opposite field with a ton of pop. Tristan Becerra, just about to say, you got to get through Murderer's Row here with Ole Miss with Becerra, Reuter, and Furness. And Becerra says, I'll just take care of it in one swing right here.
And that one hits Reuter. Hit by pitch. And it puts Reuter over at first base. See if we can look at that pitch location again that Murray served up to Becerra. A 3-run home run by Hunter Snow. Left-handed batter, opposite field into the Crawford boxes. This one was really crushed.
Yeah, what an answer by Becerra and the Rebels. And now you got to quickly recover after that home run, and Murray plunks Reuter.
He's got a pinch runner for Ole Miss. That's Owen Anino. Owen Pano is running at first. Now to play off the bat of Will Furness. Well, that home run there by Becerra, both the home runs, they were not cheapies.
No, there were no doubters. Both sides of the park. That's what's so impressive. You know, you get hitters that you talk about have pull side power, but Becerra has ballpark power. Just any place in the ballpark, he'll hit it. Did a great job of staying behind that slider offering from Murray.
Pano is running at first. Back up the middle, into center. Pano going to third. Ole Miss with nobody out and runners on the corners.
Yeah, no stopping for Pano. Great job by Mike Bianco to put that pinch runner in. Takes third base on that clean single by Furness.
Gotta love the aggressive base running.
Yeah, Sanders was positioned more up the middle defensively, but just couldn't get to that ball. It looked like it clipped the rubber and scooted on into center field.
Usually a guy will go from first to third if it's to right field or in the gap. That was right to the center fielder, Johnson. Austin Foley.
The Bears choosing to leave their middle infield back. Trying to play for the double play, but of course the winning run 90 feet away.
There's nobody out in the inning. There have been a couple of times when the Rebels have had runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs today and have been unable to get a run home.
If you're Austin Foley, you just got to be thinking, put the ball in play up the middle. That'll score the run. Bears playing for 2.
It's a high fly. Runner will tag. Coming home is Pano. The throw. He is safe. Got in the back door. Ole Miss takes a 1-run lead.
Yeah, great slide by Pano and really close play at home plate. He went head first, trying to sneak that hand underneath the glove of catcher J.J. Kennett. The Bears immediately came up and asked for a challenge. Tice Armstrong at first base was stationed as the cutoff man, and Grayson Murray, the pitcher, and Kennett all jumped up and said, check that play.
Well, initially, Pat, it looked like the throw beat Pano.
Yeah, it was just up that line towards the first base side, and that was the problem for Kennett, was trying to catch it and come around to tag Pano. It looks like that hand got underneath the glove of Kennett.
It was such a bang-bang play, and with Kennett making that catch and then having to come around and swipe tag. Let's look at it here again. That throw is on the foul territory on the first base side. Kennett has to bring his mitt around.
Yeah, it's awfully close. Awfully close. Yeah, Joe Harris stationed perfectly, the home plate umpire. Had a really good view of it. Well, we've looked at it 3 times. I still can't tell if the hand got underneath or if the glove made contact first, but
you know, from one angle, it looks like his hand got in there. From the other angle, not so close.
Yeah, it looks like Kennett actually takes his hand off the plate. Yeah, this might be one of those plays that's going to stand, because you look at it from 2 or 3 different angles and you really can't tell. Yeah, it's like if he would have called him out, it would have been hard to overturn that as well. So
now the ruling on the field is safe. And so you have to have the evidence to be able to overturn that.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know, even as good as these replays are, our camera guys did a great job of getting multiple angles on the plate. It's going to be so hard, I think, to overturn that call.
They're about to make their final decision here. I'm sure they are looking at that very closely.
And I tell you, on replays, whenever I see plays this close, it's usually going to be the play that's called on the field.
Safe. Doug Williams, first base umpire and crew chief, said safe.
Yeah, and Mitch Williams is out to argue, and he's upset. Yeah, he just got tossed. Yeah, I think he felt like the replay showed that the tag got there first. He is not happy.
So the rest of this ball game will be managed by someone other than Mitch Thompson.
Yeah, that was a quick toss, and I don't know if he said the magic word, but you know, usually on a play that close, your umpiring crews are
a little bit
of leverage. Yeah. Get your word in. Don't say anything crazy. It's going to get you tossed, but that was a quick hook.
So a sacrifice fly RBI for Austin Foley brings home Owen Pano. Foley collecting his 9th RBI of the season. I beg your pardon, his 10th RBI. Got an RBI back in the 2nd inning. So it's a 1-run lead for Ole Miss.
Sure, I don't have many umpire friends, but I do have one. A guy named Ted Barrett. Ted was a 32-year Major League umpire, and we serve on a ministry board together. And I just had to ask Ted one day. I said, Ted, when you guys go to replay, are you really trying to back the umpires to make them look better? And he said, no, we really try to get the call right. You know, that's our job, is to get it right. We don't want to affect games. So we really do look to get everything done right. We come together, we discuss it, we go to replay, but
throw will get into right field, and that's going to have the runner, Furness, go to second. A throwing error by J.J. Kennett. Kennett. That ball just got away from him.
Yeah, we've been a close play at first base. Had the throw been on time and on the bag, but that snap throw, he had to step behind the left-handed hitter, Decker, and just could not complete the throw.
So Decker is 0 for 1. A lot has happened in this 8th inning on both sides. Well, if you went away for a little bit, Ole Miss had a 3-1 lead with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Johnson drifting back. Furness thinks about going to third, but he goes back to second. 2 away in the inning.
I'll go back to that gutsy call by third base coach Mike Clement as well. And you get a ball that's kind of hit shallow right field, and he knows he has a fast runner at third base and Owen Pano, and there was no doubt in his mind he was going to send him, and pays off for the Rebs. They go ahead after Baylor had taken the lead in the top of the 8th. What an answer by Ole Miss. Score a couple here in the bottom.
Brett Mosley getting his first at bat. Mosley, the right fielder. The original right fielder was Tristan Becerra, who moved over to left in the top of the 8th. Brett Mosley now in right. Now it's 3-0 from Grayson Murray. Janusek in right field. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. And it puts runners on at first and second for Ole Miss. Now it's Randall, the shortstop. Furness at second. Mosley at first.
And pitching coach Sean Snedeker out for Baylor.
And now that Mitch Thompson has been ejected, imagine the lead assistant will be new coach. And that's the decisions.
Yeah, Zach Dillon.
Yeah, double bearer action in the bullpen. 2 right-handers. Caleb Bunch. Cade Wabel.
Zach Dillon, the bench coach, more than likely taking over Mitch Thompson's duties, but Snedeker will make the pitching decisions here on out.
Murray gets a first pitch strike to Randall. The way that this game has gone, of course, anything can happen. Baylor wants to keep it right here to a one-run deficit. Ole Miss wants insurance. Looks like this is going to be playable. Snow puts it away. And Ole Miss is retired. But not before a solo home run by Becerra ties the game, and a sac fly RBI, close play at the plate, and it gives Ole Miss a one-run lead going to inning number 9.
Excitement, the emotion, the passion, epic highlights, inspirational stories, unrivaled coverage. This is H-Town High School Sports with Todd Freed.
See it all right here on Space City Home Network.
They don't ask for style points.
Can the Rockets pull off a dramatic win tonight?
Just results. When it matters most, this team finds a way.
Shepard throws it up to Clint Capella, who throws it down.
Every stop matters. Every possession, a battle. Because one play can change everything.
Ole Miss holding on to a one-run lead. Baylor down to their final 3 outs. Here's an interesting number, Pat. Ole Miss, they are 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And they've scored 5 runs.
Yeah.
You know, I learned in the late 90s, chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah, the long ball works. That can win you some ball games when you're not getting guys advanced around the base paths. Well, there's a powerful Ole Miss lineup. They are going to be tough to deal with down the road. That's a team that you could very well say, you know, College World Series this early in the season? I think so. That's a very physical lineup.
They return 3 players that had 20 home runs each in their lineup. So
only club in college baseball that has that type of firepower.
Cade Dotson, second at bat today. Baylor trailing by a run. They took a 1-run lead on Hunter Snow's 2-out, 3-run home run last inning. Strike 3 called. That was perfectly placed. Koenig gets the strikeout looking of Cade Dotson.
And strikeout number 17 tonight for the Rebels.
We talked about it in the break room before coming on the air. About 17 strikeouts. That was by one pitcher. That's a fair ball off the bat of Johnson. Center fielder Johnson is going to think about third, but that's a good job out there by Becerra to get the ball back into the infield. Good swing by the number 8 hitter Johnson.
Yeah, caught a hanging slider up in the zone, and Johnson drills that ball into the corner. Mosley, no trouble at all. Made a good job of squaring his body up and keeping that ball right in front to get it back quickly to the infield and held Johnson to 2. Johnson can absolutely fly around the base paths, and Drew Blair, the third base coach, held him up.
There's another quirky stat is Baylor in the first 7 innings have had just 2 hits today until the 8th and 9th innings. And now they've collected the last 3 hits in these last 2 innings. Kennett, catcher. always remember great late Hall of Fame broadcaster Milo Hamilton would say, try to figure this game out.
Yeah, right.
And when you do, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you like to see. Teams respond, you know, when they're down. You stay aggressive and get after it, or do you kind of wilt? And both these teams down in this ball game, and both did a great job of staying calm and getting after it. Some big guys with some big hits. Going to take advantage of those moments.
Tying run in scoring position for Baylor. There's a little looper. That's going to fall. Johnson going to come home, and the game is tied at 5. Kennett just dunks a single into shallow right field.
Yeah, J.J. Kennett gets his fastball up in the zone and kind of jams him, gets inside his hands, and just able to muscle it out over first baseman Will Furness. Mosley had a little trouble with it, but not enough bobble for Kennett to move around to second base. But just like that, a double and a bloop. Baylor ties it up.
Said that Mosley was in right field. Actually, I meant to say, rather, excuse me, that Mosley was in left field. I meant to say that he's in right field. As Becerra is in left. A lot of changes. The game is tied. Janusek, the right fielder. Janusek has struck out 3 times today with a walk.
Not a bad pitch by Koenig on Kennett. Just a good piece of hitting. Able just to muscle it.
I think the Bears are thinking about that great move that Hunter Elliott had over at first base. Janusek was picked off.
Kennett with good wheels at first.
Over on the left side. And ball gets away. Utermark, the throw to the plate, and he's going to be out. It's out number 2.
Yeah, that's going to be one Jim Blair wants to have back. That was overthrow to first base, and Kennett was standing around third base. Looked like he came up a little bit, not expecting to get moved around. And Jim Blair, the third base coach, wanting to take that chance. But great throw by Decker backing up first base. And it might have been Mosley. Yeah, right fielder Mosley. He was a little bit surprised, too, that Kennett was being waved around. And his throw was up the right side as well towards the dugout. But great job by Foley to catch it, wheel around, and make the tag well before Kennett could get there.
So it remains tied at 5. And both teams' third basemen, Wright and Clemens for Baylor, and Utermark for Ole Miss, committing errors that almost led to a run.
That throw did allow Janusek to move around to third base.
Now,
another mound visit by pitching coach Joel Mangrum. More of a strategy session, how they want to approach Reebok.
The rule that a hit, Janusek, but then an error by the third baseman, Utermark. Then 9-2 on the out of Kennett.
So still an error on the throw by Utermark, but
right.
Mosley gets the assist, Foley gets the put out on the play.
Reebok, he is 0 for 2 with a run scored. Pearson Reebok, second baseman, the go-ahead run, 90 feet. One and one. Well, we have been treated to a couple of really good ball games to start this tournament. UTSA come from behind 1-run victory. Tied here in the 9th.
Yeah, it turns into a different inning for Baylor. Had they held Kennett at third base, get Janusek at second. Now with one out and Reebok at the plate, that changes even the way you approach Reebok. But
most likely brings the infield in too.
Infield in, yep. Now Coney can go right after Reebok. He's up in the count here. That play definitely changed the entire inning.
Utermark this time makes the good throw, and Baylor strands the go-ahead run. Janusek 90 feet away. Bottom of the 9th coming up.
With the 2026 Toyota Tacoma, you can do whatever you want.
Whatever we want?
Yep, whatever you want.
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want!
Whatever we want. The 2026 Toyota Tacoma, for every kind of adventure.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a rugged new 2026 Tacoma SR5 for $289 a month for 39 months. Offer ends March 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Vacationing is an art, and the Palm Beaches are your canvas. Stroll along sun-soaked beaches. Unwind at boutique resorts. Explore hidden and not so hidden gems. Here you'll discover a lifestyle that's nothing short of a masterpiece. Curate your perfect collection of experiences in the Palm Beaches.
Getting a look at the right-hander just coming in for Baylor. That is Caleb Bunch. Bunch coming on with a tie game here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, Bunch gives the Bears a couple of different types of closers and a much different pitcher than what you saw in Grayson Murray. But Bunch stands 6'6" on the mound and not overpowering at all. The fastball is only going to be up to the mid-80s. But his out pitches are a split change. Has the ability to locate the curve and the cutter. That split change is the out pitch. It's nasty and really tough to pick up.
Last year had 20 appearances all out of the bullpen. That was second most on Baylor's team. Transferred previous year from Northwestern State. Caleb Bunch.
And not your traditional closer.
Federico, center fielder. Playable. Sanders, one away. One pitch, one out.
And Bunch posted good numbers last season. He was quite often out of that pen, and for the Bears, 3.23 earned run average, had 30 strikeouts, only 8 walks. No forced contact, but again, just not a lot of velo.
Utermark. Painted perfectly on the outer half of the plate. Bunch thinking about what's coming here as he kicks and fires. That's going to be into center. One out, base hit. The winning run is on first base for Ole Miss in the bottom of the 9th.
Now you got to face this guy.
Becerra, who has already hit 2 home runs. The home run that tied the game in the bottom of the 8th as he led off. Power shot opposite field.
And a hero for the Ole Miss tonight. Can he do it again?
Becerra with those 2 home runs today, now 5 on the season. Becerra, it's 2 for 4. Fly out to right in the first, strikeout in the third. Remember when Baylor was racking up the strikeouts? Last time that Ole Miss has struck out was in the 5th. Baylor has 9 strikeouts, but none since the 5th. Two and 1.
A bunch trying to keep the ball down in the zone here to Becerra. Not chasing. That gets the advantage count.
Ole Miss, meanwhile, their pitching staff, they've continued to rack up the strikeouts. 17 strikeouts for Ole Miss pitching.
Seneca trying to make sure he's on the right page with Caleb Bunch. And these conversations can sometimes be, what do you feel comfortable with in this situation, knowing what Becerra's done to us already, and how do you want to approach him? You know, what do you feel most confident in? Seneca calls pitches from the bench, but gives his pitchers the ability to shake if they're not totally comfortable. And you maybe saw that on the face of Bunch. Just wants to make sure they're clear in this approach.
Becerra. Bunch ready. Missing. Now it's 3 and 1. We know what he can do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to pitch around him.
That may be what part of the conversation was about.
You know, let's not give in here, down on the count.
Oh, off speed.
Yeah, and with that split change, and set out in front.
Becerra was geared up for something else. Gotta love the games within the game. And he got him swinging. When he went 3 and 1, I did not expect that.
Yeah, best on best. We talked about his best pitch being that split changeup, and he went right back to it. 2 pitches in a row to Becerra. It's a tough pitch to pick up, and it doesn't have a ton of tumble on it. It's not like a traditional split-fingered fastball. Just looks like a fastball coming out because he's got great arm action with it. That pitch comes in about 74 miles an hour.
Pano scored the 5th run for Ole Miss. He's now in the batter's box getting his first at-bat of the ball game. He's in the designated hitter role.
Man, what a game. And both teams will be disappointed if they take the L in this one, but Baylor would be feeling like, hey, man, we came back and got ourselves back in a position to win this.
Baylor's had 2 one-run leads. Foul ball. Ole Miss has had a 2-run lead and a 1-run lead. Both teams with multiple leads throughout this ballgame.
Yeah, it's gone back and forth all night, and it's a testament to these clubs battling and just grinding through it. Ole Miss, of course, trying to protect that perfect record.
That's a base hit. Utermark going to third. Utermark, the winning run, 90 feet away after the base hit from Pano.
And he went down and got that one. Good swing by Pano and stayed back, kept his hands back, and just a great piece of hitting.
Now it's Furness. Furness today, double, single, also reached on a walk. He's only been retired once. That was a strikeout back in the 4th inning. Starts him off with a strike.
Yeah, the Ole Miss lineup, 2 through 4, responsible for all their production tonight offensively. This guy Furness has been a really difficult out.
And they are pitching him carefully, aren't they?
I mean, there's no let up in this lineup. Nowhere to take a breath.
Furness is the number 5 hitter in the lineup for Ole Miss. This is the first ball club, or excuse me, the first time that either ball club might play extra innings. They have not played extra innings yet this season.
And a good block by Kennett that time. That's got a pitcher on the mound that likes to throw that change down in the zone, and you got to know you can trust your catcher back there, and you did a great job of keeping that ball right out in front.
Ole Miss would love to keep that streak going, not playing an extra inning game. Baylor would love to play an extra inning game. Once again, another 3-1 count. He came back and got Becerra to strike out. Can Bunch get Furness? See if he goes with that.
And split change, yeah.
Little weak grounder. And Dotson making the play. We've got extras. Free baseball. 10th inning is coming up next from Dyken Park.
Remember how great it was to report the news and share facts with the community?
We still can. Fact, the Harris County Toll Road Authority is focused on mobility for today and tomorrow.
Fact, toll road user dollars maintain the lanes and fund future roadway improvements.
Fact, Easy Tag users get a 10% discount on Harris County toll roads. We all benefit from Hectra.
Fact, we can all learn more at hectra.org and keep it moving with an Easy Tag.
With the 2026 Toyota Tacoma, you can do whatever you want.
Whatever we want?
Yep, whatever you want.
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
The 2026 Toyota Tacoma, for every kind of adventure.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a rugged new 2026 Tacoma SR5 for $289 a month for 39 months. Offer ends March 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
So I specialize in orthopedic surgery and sports medicine, which involves injuries in athletes, but I specifically treat the knees and shoulders. For me, it was the best fit to combine my skill set, my personality, and my areas of interest to be able to help other people regain their levels of activity. I like to diagnose problems and fix them, and the human element of that and getting patients and athletes back to their sport was really appealing to me.
Ole Miss and Baylor headed to the 10th. Baylor, this has been a back and forth ball game. And the Bears will send up their 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up against the new pitcher for Ole Miss. That is Landon Waters. Another Landon in the ball game. Landon Koenig pitched the 9th. Landon Waters for Ole Miss now here in the 10th.
Yeah, Mike Bianco has a couple of great options in his 2 Landons. Of course, Koenig did an outstanding job. Gives way to Waters. And Waters has really improved his command. He's throwing harder. Had a great summer, great fall.
Last year, 17 appearances for the right-hander, all out of the bullpen. had a 3-0 record, 18 2/3 inning of work. Had the strikeout touch also with 24 strikeouts. So he is pitcher number 4 for the Rebels, following Hunter Elliott. Remember him? A long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Starting pitcher with
this afternoon.
The first 5 innings. So the tournament rules, they don't do this in the regular season, but tournament rules will have the runner in extra innings start at second base.
And that's going to be Reebok, who made the last out.
Right.
For Baylor in the top of the 9th.
Started that rule a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago at this tournament.
Well, you're going to see a fastball from Waters that sits 92 to 96. Really good cut fastball that sits in the upper 80s. He'll touch 91 with that pitch, and a slider 80 to 85 on the gun.
Cut on and missed. Now the big thing here when you're in extra innings and you have the runner that starts the inning at second base, the main job for the guy in the plate, somehow, some way, get him over to third base and let them work with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, typically that's what you want. You know, hit to that right side of the infield, but with Armstrong, you're just saying, hey, hit one out of here and give us a win.
Armstrong with that swing,
right?
Just missed that one.
Yeah, he's not trying to shoot the ball to right. Unless, you know, you get down 2 strikes, you might be thinking that way towards that right center gap. But yeah, he's looking for a pitch that's a mistake up out over the plate that he can get extended on.
Waters, base hit up the middle. They're going to wave the runner Reebok. And Baylor reclaims the lead on the RBI from Tice Armstrong. Didn't try to do too much with 2 strikes.
No, and Waters tried to sneak that fastball by him, tried to come in on the hands of Armstrong and just left it out of the middle of the plate. Just a great piece of hitting. That's how you cut that swing down, get the base hit. You got your guy at second base to start the inning and put your team back on top.
It's 6-5 Baylor. Travis Sanders, shortstop. Fastball, cut on and miss. Well, I would imagine that Armstrong did more than just move his runner over. He drove him in.
Yeah, that's what you want your RBI guy to do. There's no doubt you play situational baseball when it calls for it, but you get your RBI guys up there, you want them to do their job, get somebody plated.
Well, you're at the right part of the lineup to do so. With the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, you're hard of the lineup. 6, 7, and 8 will come up for Ole Miss in the bottom of the 10th. But like Pat said, there are no easy outs in the Rebels lineup.
Baylor would love to add that lead, but Landon Waters, again, one of those great bullpen arms for Ole Miss, and both teams have gone deep into their late inning relievers to try to get this win.
Sanders, a couple of hits, also a run scored. Well, the fans coming in for Texas and Coastal Carolina getting treated to a good one here. Waters missing.
Yeah, finally doing a good job. Backhanded that one that time. Previous couple of sliders down and away and made some good stops. That time just kind of snags it with the backhand.
We talked about Foley and what a good defensive catcher he is.
And he has definitely saved a couple of bases here in these last couple of pitches.
Got him swinging. First out, and that's the 18th strikeout for Ole Miss pitchers.
Yeah, challenged Sanders with that fastball up. 96-mile-an-hour touch on the gun and just blows it by him.
Well, Hunter Snow, the big 3-run home run at the time, gave Baylor a 4-3 lead. We'll go back to 2 outs, nobody on. Tice Armstrong had a good at-bat. Eventually ended up walking against Hudson Calhoun. I think Hudson Calhoun may have run out of gas. But he was looking really good before that.
Fastball in on the hands of Snow, and saw that previous pitch, that cutter in. That's how you want to approach a left-handed hitter. Right-handed pitcher that has a good cut fastball. You want that ball to eat him up on the hands, and you open up the outside part of the plate.
Snow's home run was to left field, opposite field shot. Fastball. Got him down in the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Waters.
And Waters changed the approach that time, went inside, just pounded the inside part of the plate against Snow, and this time ties him up with that fastball.
Now it's Ewens.
And a quick timeout offensively here. Zach Dillon, the first base coach, talking to Jim Blair's third base coach. Darren Thomas out of the dugout.
With 2 outs and Armstrong at first base, what do you suppose the conversation is?
It might be, are they, here's the matchup here with Ewens. Dillon went to the bench, asking some questions about maybe the matchup here, and they're going to choose to leave Ewens in to hit. Got the lefty-righty matchup.
So, Armstrong at first, Ewens at the plate. Waters delivers. He was on that pitch too.
A good swing.
Baylor had a 1-0 lead after a half inning of play earlier today. Ole Miss tied the game. They took a 2-run lead courtesy of a 2-run home run. Courtesy of the home run from Tristan Becerra. And with 2 outs, Baylor ended up getting a 3-run home run from Hunter Snow. They took a 4-3 lead. Ole Miss tied it with Becerra's second home run in the bottom of the 8th, and then a sac fly RBI to take a lead. Baylor tied it in the top of the 9th. Now they have taken the lead in the 10th. Little flare, that'll fall. And going from first to third is Armstrong. He will slide safely, and the runner, Ewens, will get to second base. That ball got away.
Yeah, heads-up base running by Ewens. Take the extra bag from first to second. That ball clinked off the glove of Braden Randall.
That was a good job by Ewens. Ball was running in on his hands. And Randall, the ball went off his glove, as you mentioned, and allowed the runner extra 90 feet. So that is an error on the right fielder, Mosley, to allow Ewens to go to second base. There's been 5 errors today.
Yeah, it's for teams that came in with pretty good baseball.
Yeah. We were bragging about their defense.
Yeah. Now there's going to be a pinch runner for Baylor, replacing Ewens at second. It'll be Bo Caraway.
Bruins coming out. 2 outs. So the inning continues. Kate Dotson. Third baseman Dotson. Ball 1.
It's a big at-bat. I mean, no doubt with runners in scoring position, if Baylor comes through, if Dotson can find a hole, give them a 3-run lead. And of course, Ole Miss trying to prevent that.
Caraway is running at second for Voyers. Old Caraway. I think that's a big insurance run 90 feet away in Tice Armstrong.
And Foley's done a tremendous job. He has been flawless behind the plate, keeping everything out in front. Waters has buried a few breaking balls in the dirt. We tested him, but he has come through every time.
Dotson awaits the pitch from Waters. 2-2 with 2 outs. As the great late Vince Scully would say, deuce is wild. 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 men on. Baylor looking for insurance. RBI single by Armstrong. Bringing home Reebok has given them the 1-run lead in the top of the 10th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Landon Waters strikes out the side, but Baylor reclaims the lead on Armstrong's RBI single as we go to the bottom of the 10th.
Hi, Alice. I'm here for
Your new prescription? Your refill. Indigestion again. Aisle 3. Joint support. Aisle 6. Uh-oh. Aisle 5. Vitamin C. Aisle 7. Let me call your doctor. Your insurance. Your grandkids are growing like weeds. Snacks are on aisle 9.
Go ahead. See you next time, Alice.
I'll see ya.
A fuller life deserves fuller care. That's the human kind of help. Walgreens.
New Nissan?
Not correct.
Hey. You got to put it through its paces.
He can take it.
Hurry into the Nissan Now sales event featuring Rogue, Pathfinder, and Frontier. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue, or get up to $1,750 total bonus cash on Sentra.
Remember how great it was to report the news and share facts with the community?
We still can. Fact, the Harris County Toll Road Authority is focused on mobility for today and tomorrow.
Fact, toll road user dollars maintain the lanes and fund future roadway improvements.
Fact, Easy Tag users get a 10% discount on Harris County toll roads. We all benefit from Hectra.
Fact, we can all learn more at hectra.org and keep it moving with an Easy Tag.
Now coming up after this ball game, it'll be Coastal Carolina and Texas. That'll be the nightcap. A lot of Texas fans expecting a first pitch at 7 o'clock. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
As we're in the bottom of the 10th inning.
2 minutes, yeah. It's probably closer to maybe an 8:15 start, but we have to see how this one finishes first.
Yeah, you got a long way to go.
And Will Furness is at second base for Ole Miss, so not a ton of speed at second.
Foley, the hitter. Caleb Bunch still on the mound. The Ole Miss Rebels.
Now we got a pinch runner.
Pasella is running. Daniel Pasella is running at second.
Well, now you do have speed.
Yeah. Ball is bunted foul. Kennett lost the ball on the bunt, but didn't matter. It went into the seats.
Yeah, tough to bunt that elevated pitch, and probably should have drawn the bat back, but stayed committed. Maybe trying to shoot that ball to the right side.
So Pacella going back in. Back and forth, back and forth. Just the way that we drew it up when starting pitcher for Ole Miss, Hunter Elliott, could not find the strike zone. You know, Ole Miss, 20 strikeouts as a pitching staff. Baylor has 10. Yeah, Baylor had 9 through the first 5, only 1 since.
If Ole Miss can't tie this game or go ahead, I mean, think about that, losing a game with 20 Ks. Wow.
You don't see that often. Foley staying alive.
It's just missing with that slider away.
Sacrifice fly by Foley in the 8th gave Ole Miss a 5-4 lead. And he strikes out here.
Yeah, big out. You saw Foley trying to sack bunt Pacella over to third and couldn't get it done, and then strikes out. So Ole Miss will have to do it more traditionally with a base hit to try to score him.
And we talked about how your job as a hitter, somehow, some way, get that runner over to third base when you've got the extra innings going and it's a 1-run game. So here's Decker.
Joe, I'm kind of liking this start of man at second. Extra innings. This makes it much more exciting. I know they do it at the major league level, but college has yet to adopt that rule. A bunch behind 2-0. Now you don't want to give up the free base here to Decker, and that puts the winning run at first base. So Decker should get something good to hit.
Checked his swing. He went around. You know, Bunch, as you mentioned when he came in, not going to blow you away. Very deceptive.
Yeah, he's crafty. It's almost like facing that crafty left-hander, but he's a crafty righty. And that bat just barely goes around from Decker.
Johnson making the play and tagging. Actually, Pacella did not tag. He came off the base too much, and I think he realized that was a mistake.
He started to go back to tag late, but even then, you don't want to make that third out at third base. Ball was hit fairly deeply, but Johnson with a decent arm in center got it back quickly to Sanders, the cutoff man.
Now it comes down to Brett Mosley, who came in the game late. Came in the 8th inning. 2 outs and the tying run at second base for Ole Miss in the bottom of the 10th. Tomorrow, Baylor will play Texas tomorrow night. Ole Miss will play Ohio State. They'll come back tomorrow morning. 2 outs. Brett Mosley. Just missing on the inner half of the plate.
The thing with Bunch is he's just not going to throw anything straight. As a hitter, you just got to really be patient and try to catch a mistake out over the plate.
Redshirt freshman's got a count of 2-2. Mosley.
That's that split change.
Well, if you could go to it and get it again.
He's going back to it. That's his best pitch. That's what Mosley has to be sitting on right here.
He got Becerra back in the ninth after falling behind 3-1 on the split change, 2 straight. He gets him here. And Baylor comes from behind and gets a 1-run victory. 2 one-run games here at the Bruce Bolt College Classic.
Oh, man. What a ball game. Yeah, if you tuned in late to this one, man, you missed some great baseball today. Both teams back and forth all day long. And Baylor with the big 3-run shot from Hunter Snow. Tice Armstrong with the RBI go-ahead base hit in extra innings. And what a job by the Bears. Hands Ole Miss their first loss of this 2026 campaign.
Yeah, both games ending up with the same score, 6-5. Will Coastal Carolina and Texas have the same score? It's coming up next. For our production crew, for Pat Combs, I'm Gerald Sanchez, saying so long from Dyken Park.
Born with power, tested by time. Texas is Ford Truck Month. Woo! And this is Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. Hop in and drive the Stampede.
Drive F-150 with 0 for 60, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash.
Ford is the best in Texas.